with your hosts, Justin Acri and Phil Elson on the Buzz Radio Network. The Zone is live from the Little Rock Touchdown Club, brought to you by Arkansas Spine and Pain. Justin and Phil will bring you the show each week from the DoubleTree downtown with interviews from each speaker and their comments to the club live. It's The Zone on location at the Little Rock Touchdown Club, brought to you by Arkansas Spine and Pain. Find them at arkansasspineandpain.com.
There's some days it was back and forth, and it was true quarterback competition. I mean, there's times that KJ had two good practices in a row, and then AJ had the better practice. And I think what ultimately we decided was, they both looked really good on base downs, right? They both were doing really good things in Skelly and being able to lead the offense in different situations. But ultimately, it came down to the actual situational football. And I believe a quarterback, in order to have success, has to be really efficient in those things. You guys hear me quite often talking about 2-minute offense, 4-minute offense, the check plays, the different things that come up, right? Is it a 2-minute situation before half? Looking at the clock, putting us in the right situation, seeing the blitz checks. And AJ did a great job with that. I just thought we thought KJ had the slight edge in that, and I think ultimately that's going to give us the best opportunity to have success moving forward. So we based it more so on situational football because that's a real quarterback play, and that's where you get to see the biggest difference in those two.
All right, welcome in the Zone. That is Ryan Silverfield talking about the quarterback battle, which apparently has been settled out at Arkansas. And Ryan Silverfield, speaking of, will join us here at our very first meeting of the Little Rock Touchdown Club for the 2026 season. Phil Elson, Justin Acri over here at the DoubleTree Hotel. We are presented by Arkansas Spine and Pain, and we will be throughout the year. It's an exciting season upcoming for the Little Rock Touchdown Club. We're certainly thrilled to be a part of it, and we're going to have a chance to visit with Coach Silverfield in the second hour of the show today, and then we'll, per usual, carry his Q&A or speech, whatever he decides to do. We don't know because he's never been here before, but with the Little Rock Touchdown Club. My guess is he and David will do a Q&A, but we'll see how it shakes out. But anyway, we've got lots of recap for the weekend. What's on tap? We've got game balls and jock straps. We've got entertainment birthdays. All the usual things we're going to do. Plus, on top of that, we get the Touchdown Club, which had a big announcement a little bit ago that they're going to fill their open date with the former president, Bill Clinton, and Jerry Jones, who's the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe you've heard of him. And that will be a really cool deal when they roll in here in a few weeks. So that was a big announcement. I know they had to nail down a few details, cross some T's and dot some I's and things of that nature. Now, question is, I don't know if we're going to get frisked by Secret Service before we start the show that day or not, but bottom line is it'll be cool, and that was a great addition to the lineup, which was already really rock solid. So
you might have to get here a little earlier that day, or not here, at Simmons Bank Arena.
Yeah.
You ever met a president?
Well, I've interviewed Phil Clinton before, so yeah. And I've interviewed Jerry Jones before, too, but it'll still be cool. Now, whether or not we'll get him on the show, I don't know. We'll see. There are very, 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 very few instances where we have not gotten the guest from the Touchdown Club, so we'll see.
You ever have to be frisked by Secret Service for an interview before?
I mean, not for an interview. I mean, I did it just for fun.
Justin does that to me every day before the Zone starts.
Yeah. You wish. I don't know. So, how was the weekend?
It was good, man. I didn't really do all that much. Watched a little bit of sports. Caught up on I don't finish shows, but I did finish the second season of Tires yesterday. You watch any of that? It's a funny show. It's 22 minutes. It's quick.
It has its moments. There's a lot of boring to me on that one, and I love Gillis, but it just doesn't really. There are some good reels and memes that have come out of that thing, but it's not my favorite.
Hey,
I actually need to catch up on Ted Lasso.
New season, season 3 of Tires was the funniest one by far.
Okay.
That's why I've been reading a little about
better.
it.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to finish the second season so I can start the third.
Okay.
I'm putting that one ahead of Ted Lasso in terms of what I have to start, because I know everybody loves Ted Lasso more, but I tried to resume it, and I just couldn't do it yet. It'll happen.
What do you mean you couldn't do it yet?
I wanted to get my kids into it, and they just kind of were not into it.
Huh.
So I've just got to resume where I started in the second season, the second show, and just kind of take it from there. I did watch a little EPL on Saturday, and I can't tell you what I watched, but it was on.
All right, so let's talk about this quarterback situation. How about that? I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of the biggest news of the day, in addition to Bill Clinton hanging out. But what do we think? I mean, I don't think there was a whole lot of surprise probably for us.
I think it was inevitable.
Yeah.
But look, good. You didn't need to name him a starter just because he looked like he was going to be the starter before spring ball. Make him prove it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if maybe it took a little longer for him to prove it than some people would have liked. But I'm glad that here it is. It's a little less than 2 weeks before the first game, and there's no question about it now. You don't have two quarterbacks. Maybe both of them play against North Alabama, but that's hopefully just because it's a laugher in the second half, and then you're just going to get KJ ready for Utah. To me, I'm not going to use the word refined, but just from what you've read about them and from the people that we know who know what they're talking about, who've attended practice, I think he's the more refined quarterback. He might not be the more talented of the two,
right?
But I think he's the one who's going to OTB more and might be more refined.
Well, you keep reading about, again, it's hard to know. This is why I hate the fact that you don't get access to practice. But, again, they can do what they want, and it's not like Arkansas's alone. But you're reading about interceptions just about every practice. Now, they're not saying which quarterback is throwing them, but the defense is turning the offense over, and that is something that's either exciting or concerning depending on how you look at it. And so I don't know. And again, I'd like to know which quarterback is throwing it to the other team. I'm assuming it's not KJ, or he probably would not have been named the starter.
No, I read that from practice yesterday. He led a good drive down the field and then threw an end zone interception. So it was KJ that threw an interception yesterday. Take that for what it's worth. These things are going to happen. Like, if we think he's not going to turn the ball over, he's going to turn the ball over a couple of times here and there.
Right.
And again, I'm also like, I never know how to take reports out of practice.
No, it's pointless to some degree. But
yeah, damn, KJ threw an end zone interception. But it's like, all right, great. Somebody in the Razorback secondary made a play when they had their backs up against the end zone. Great. Mm-hmm. So the good goes with the bad here.
Well, none of this really matters until we see him in an actual game setting, right? So.
And I mean in the game setting against Utah. Like, I feel like when we watch the North Alabama game, we'll see all the things that we saw against Texas and against Mizzou. KJ throws a pretty ball. There's a little issue with accuracy here and there, but he's going to get rid of it. He's got some mobility, but not like a ton. He's not Taylor Green, not like anybody really else is. But it's going to be that second game against Utah where, we're really going to get a better sense.
Yeah, it's more like competition, but I will say I want to see clean execution and I want to see tremendous effort, and those are things that should be in place regardless of the level of competition you face. So
true. Can
you dominate North Alabama? Again, I don't expect it to be a competitive game, but do you win by 14 or 17, or do you win by 40? That's the question to me. And if you're not winning by 40, that's fine. It's not the end of the world, but that's going to raise some eyebrows a little bit too.
But also from what Silverfield said yesterday at the press conference, they're coalescing around what looks like a starting offensive line. Chris Marshall's going to be one of the starting receivers. It sounds like that's. I'm forgetting the name. I got to pull up my notes, but it sounds like the name of one of the defensive tackles that they've brought out. The kid from, if he was from West Virginia, I don't remember. Stephen Souls is going to be Zach Souls. He's coming from Kentucky. Will be the starting jack, and that he's kind of, I don't know if outplayed is the word, but that his size is a reason why he's going to be starting at jack instead of Charlie Collins. So some of these things are starting to come out from the head coach now too. And next week you'll get a depth chart.
Right.
And hopefully it's a depth chart you can trust.
Right.
I'm sure it is.
Well, not always, but hopefully in this case, yeah, because, again, we're getting to know Ryan Silverfield too. So as Terrell Owens once said, that's my quarterback. So let's hear from him. KJ Jackson. You've been named the starter.
Justin had a tear going down his face there.
I'm not quite that good of an actor. KJ's the starter. Let's hear from the guy.
Yeah, me and AJ, we've been battling all camp, and I think we truly made each other better all camp. Every single day came to work with a lot of excitement, a lot of energy. Coach Krams brought us in his office today and kind of broke the news to us and told us that, we still both got to go out there and compete every single day and be the best players that we can for the team.
Now, I'm guessing he will not throw any passes to himself. So the question becomes, what's the receiving core look like? Here's KJ on his weapons around him.
It's honestly awesome how many weapons we have in that room. Every guy in that room, I've seen make a lot of plays fall camp. Chris, he's a monster. He's a dog. And CJ, that 2-minute drive, I think I connected with him 4 or 5 times, and he ended up scoring a touchdown on that drive. And, that's just something, I love to see it. I love to see it from 3. That's my guy, and he's going to have a great year along with Chris and along with everybody else in that room.
Okay.
And so another thing to be watching for in the North Alabama game. And you're right. I shouldn't just poo-poo that first game just because this is going to be their first time all together as a team. You're going to look for cues, body language, who's following who KJ, I don't know, like the term would be zeroes in on, but if he does zero in on a receiver, just like Talon did for those 2 years, there'll be some of those things to pay attention to. How he leads.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to say something, too, that is going to maybe annoy some people. But I think this program begins to be judged really fairly next year. A, you got a little more manageable schedule, and B, it's going to be year 2 of the system, and you hope you can hold on to key guys. But so they announced last week, this is what made me think about it, was that Gardner-Webb is going to be one of their opponents in 27. It's actually going to be their season opener. Then they've got Tulsa and Oklahoma State. And again, Oklahoma State might be pretty good in their second year under their new coach too, but you're hosting them, or you're home against them. So I mean, it's like you're at Tulsa though, which is weird. But I guess if you're going to choose the two, you'd rather go to Tulsa and have Oklahoma State at your place. Yeah. But that's an opportunity, a real opportunity, to quote our friends in Northwest Arkansas, to start 3-0.
It is.
So I mean, that is a great deal. Second year to have that kind of potential feast out of the gate, and we'll see. And then, again, the conference slate will remain to be seen. But
I'm all for, and I agree with you. Like, it's not that the jury's all out after the first year, but it's more. Your program is your program the first year. There aren't too many of Sam's guys, that are around. Sam had many more of Chad's players, than Ryan has of Sam's players. So that first year still. I don't think you judge everything based on it. No one's going to lose their job after the first year.
Some people might, but it won't be the head coach.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll talk a lot of football today because Ryan Silverfield will join us, and then again we'll carry his comments to the Touchdown Club in the final hour as well. Excuse me. Baseball was in the news late last week, and for Phil it's in the news every week. And this time was basically the baseball version of Bud Walton Arena, where they are reseating people and redeveloping the seating arrangement and what it's going to cost, more importantly, for you to be at the games. And there's always pushback, there's always frustration, and again, they are pricing out the little guy, and in some cases they're pricing out the medium-sized guy too. But again, supply and demand, and there's a ton of demand for Razorback baseball seats, and there's only so many in there. And I know they're developing some opportunities for the higher-end donors to have a little more luxe accommodations, but it's going to cause some consternation, to say the least.
Well, and also because they did this 4 or 5 years ago. Like, Baum Walker was the first to do a reseeding, and that was after the 2021 season, and it was very much in the same idea of what they're doing now. You got to meet a certain threshold to sit in a certain part of the ballpark or to keep your seats at a certain level, and so a lot of people get moved from a place they might have sat for 15, 20, 30 years, and a lot of people end up giving up their seats or suites too in this case.
Sure.
So, but here's the other side of it, and Hunter, made a point of this, and he's right, is that the people who are upset and are heartbroken, and rightfully so, being heartbroken, are the vocal people about it. They're the louder ones. But that opens up opportunities for other people, and I think when you look at what happened in the reseeding of Bud Walton Arena, there were upset folks, but it came out net positive, big net positive financially for the athletic department, and that's what ends up happening with baseball. So one other thing that I noticed when you're reading about this is it seems like they're going to be doing this every 5 years with Baum Walker, with Razorback Stadium, and with Bud Walton Arena. So it sounds like there will be a reseeding like this, unless I'm reading this incorrectly, at all 3 major venues every 5 years.
Can I ask an ignorant question, because I just don't know? I've never bought baseball tickets.
Shoot.
It says tickets in 26 sold for $285 to $375 depending on location. Is that for the season or per game?
I think that's for the season.
Okay.
You end up with,
how many games do you get at home? 40?
30.
30?
There's 15 SEC. Most of the non-conference are home games except for one weekend, so that'd be 30 to 35.
I'll say this. That's a good value. And that's a pretty good deal. Now, again, I don't know where you're going to end up getting seated.
And it goes on top of donation levels.
Yeah, you have to.
That's what this is all about.
For the chairback seats, you have to donate at least $500. But again, if you're paying, let's just say you're paying $400, just for round numbers. $400, you get 4 seats, $1,600 plus the $500. You're basically around $2,000 or a little more. for the season for 4 seats for your family. I mean, yes, that's a good chunk of money for a lot of us, but that's also not, to me, completely outrageous by any stretch of the imagination. Now, I don't know where those seats are. Now, I saw that the hog pen seats are about $250, and they're going up to $250.
Those don't come with a donation.
Again.
But also, you got to line up. You got to buy them.
True.
You got to fight and scratch and claw for those tickets. Same with the bases loaded landing they built in right field.
It's been so long since I bought tickets, I guess I didn't really know what to expect or what, baseball would be like. But I thought that wasn't that bad, honestly.
I don't think the ticket prices are outlandish. The concession prices have really skyrocketed in the last 5-6 years.
Okay.
I mean, really. I don't know if they'll get jacked up a little bit more again, but it's donation values, and also building these extra loge boxes down the third base line.
Okay, so tell me about that. What's that look like?
So you see those boxes down the right field line under the bases loaded landing.
Yep.
That's what they're building down the third base line under the new scoreboard.
Okay.
So it doesn't look like it takes any kind of process of building the indoor suites, which take a lot longer. These are sort of like outdoor suites. The ones in right field are hidden from the elements from the weather. The ones in left field I don't think will be, but
you get service and all that. You have a server and that kind of thing.
Yes, it's a premium seating level.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I wonder how much those are for a season.
I don't know.
How many seats come with that?
I think they're building 18 of those things, and there might be 6 seats in each of them, if not a little bit more. And it does. I think what it may be looking like they might be doing is, if not removing the whole thing or just taking out part of it, they call it, unfortunately, the Foul Pole Cafe. It's misnamed, but I think they're going to be taking out part of that. That has been a bit of an underused section of Baum Walker. And, Dave talks about this a lot. You could build so many more seats in that baseball park and still sell them.
Yeah.
Now, you got to do it in ways right now where it doesn't undertake massive construction costs. The other side of this is this also goes on top of the announcement of a new contract for DVH and for the baseball coaches. And, I don't really know if you correlate the increase in donation values to that specifically. I do think that these announcements coming one after the other make it seem that way. But I think this reseeding plan was a long time coming, because I think they planned on doing it 5 years later once they did it after 2021. And I'm not sure if the contract has much to do with it.
All right. It is 10:24, 501-661-1037 if you'd like to join us. We've got game balls and jock straps a little bit later in the show today.
All these people that have shown up. Wow.
Brought to you by Caddy's Touch Landscape. And, again, if you want to join us, you can at 501-661-1037. That's also our text number, which is brought to you by Middleton Heat and Air. And I don't know who does the AC here at the DoubleTree, but it works really, really well, turns out. And then we've got our live fan feedback brought to you by our friends at Rainbow Restoration, if you'd like to send in something to us that way. Some other Razorback ancillary news. The Raiders starting running back Ashton Genty apparently has a bad ankle, which means that Mike Washington is getting the lion's share of the first-team reps. Now, I never wish injury on anybody, but what a cool opportunity for Mike Washington to show his stuff here, perhaps even into the beginning of the regular season.
I wonder how much he plays in their preseason finale now that he's probably going to be getting the bulk of the carries.
Yeah, I would think they'd be very careful, don't you think?
Yes. And look, so it's a sprained ankle. It's probably not some major injury, but that
can be 3 to 4 weeks sometimes.
Exactly. And they say that's going to be at least a month. That means lots of carries for Mike Washington and a chance for him to show what he can do.
And then the Browns this morning announced that they're going to go with Watson at quarterback.
Oh, boy.
And so we'll see how that shakes out. He's got a kind of a tempestuous, I guess, relationship with the fans right now. He's getting some boos, and he's mad about it and complained about it after their last scrimmage, or their preseason game, rather. And his coach is defending him basically and said that wouldn't change his thought process on who the starter would be, and then he named the starter today, and it was Watson. So, that – to me, if you got two guys who aren't playing great, you go with the guy with more experience, and Watson's got, to me, the higher upside right now.
A lot
and
of folks,
the one you put all that money into.
There's that also, and that probably weighs into it a bit as well, Moose.
Yeah, but it's a lost cause. With Watson, it really is. This won't change for based on this season. The Browns aren't going to be any good. They already. They basically said as much by trading Myles Garrett to the Rams. So a lot of folks that I was watching yesterday on television are thinking, well, that the statement by Watson basically taking on the fans makes the decision for Monken himself. And I can't think of anything that makes less sense to me. You don't make the decision based on the fans' reaction. You make the decision based upon who's going to give you a chance to win more games.
Sure.
And one thing Watson said, which I think is going to be really interesting to see, is going to be 17 road games, he said, in that presser. He didn't just say that he thought it was disrespectful. He says, fine, it's going to be like, I don't know if I'll say it correctly word for word, but he's going to treat the season like it's 17 road games.
It's tough.
Like there's some minor league baseball team, Justin, that plays out in what the Pioneer League is right now. That's called the Red Mobile. I don't remember their team name, but they only play on the road. They're playing like 125 road games. They don't have a home ballpark.
Wow.
That's Deshaun Watson for the NFL this year.
It's tough. Browns are waiving tight end Daquan Wright in other Browns news. Why do you care about that? Well, you don't, except for the fact he's got an agreement in place to play this season for LSU if he clears waivers, according to his agent, who's Drew Rosenhaus. The first player to have an agreement to return to play in college after signing with an NFL team as an undrafted free agent. He signed with the Eagles after the draft and was claimed on waivers by the Browns August 11th. Did not appear in either of their first two preseason games.
That is so weird. Did you see Monken's statement about that, too? Because he's asked about it.
Man, isn't this blank crazy? Monken said when asked about the situation. I don't even know what to say.
When you told me how filthy mouthed he is, it's like that one hit.
I'm surprised he didn't say effing blank crazy.
It's mind-blowing to think about this. And I told people last year this was going to happen after all of the, the craziness with James Najee, and I can't remember all the other basketball players that had NBA summer league or preseason experience, signed contracts, and got back with a college team. This is nuttiness. But the only reason Wright can do this now is because he's part of that state court suit in Louisiana.
Right.
If his eligibility was based on the federal suit in Colorado, which Caleb Wooden and Sean Williams, the new defensive backs for Arkansas, they're ensnared in the federal suit. So they're at Arkansas right now wondering, am I even a Razorback?
Right.
They're on the team, but they're not on the team. Like, at least Daquan Wright knows he can get eligibility.
Ensnared is a good word. I like that.
Well, and so is Ryan Silverfield. And that defensive I wonder what they brought in, 2 veteran defensive backs who did not make NFL teams. Do you think that tells you how they view maybe a little bit of what's going on in the secondary, and now they don't know if these guys will be available or not?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, we'll get some more insights from Ryan Silverfield coming up about Razorbacks, at least. Can't speak about the LSU roster much with him, but that's okay. We're going to take a break, and it is 10:29. Stick around. We got a whole lot to get to coming up in the zone on this Monday. It's a little rainy. Man, was it great to wake up to a storm, though, today.
I loved it.
Everything in my house is dying outside. It's just like, the trees look rough. Leaves are falling off. I'm like, we're not ready for that yet. Calm down, everybody.
So I'm driving around thinking, wait a minute, is it October?
I know. But there's not getting any water, man. It's tough, unless you're watering your trees, which I don't. Just trying to keep the damn flowers alive. Anyway, it's nice to see that this morning. So it's going to get a little rain. Maybe we'll get a little more later this week. All right, we're going to take a break. As we head in, I want to tell you about our friends at LeVar Law. And obviously, when the roads are wet, it increases the chances of a potential for an accident. So be safe out there. But if you do get wronged by someone in a wreck, you know who to call. Hurt in a car, call LeVar. 1-800-WIN-WIN-1 is their phone number. 1-800-WIN-WIN and the number 1. Or check out their website at levarlaw.com, LEVARlaw.com. Alan and his team have been doing this for decades now. And when you call them, you don't get some weird call center. You get an actual human with Arkansas connections who is ready to help you, the Arkansan. So if you get hurt and you can't get to them, they'll come to you as well. And your consultation is free. And, in fact, you don't have to pay them a dime unless they win. And they do all the work taking on these insurance companies, so you don't have to. LeVar Law, injury and accident lawyers. They're Arkansas built. They're Arkansas trusted. And they are here to help you, my friends. Hurt in a car, call LeVar. We're back in a second. And it is football week finally, 10:31 on a Monday, and we get football in just a few short days. Games on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's going to be awesome. Who's ready? We are. Let's go.
Chris Kane joins Morning Mayhem each Monday to mix it up with the guys. Chris Kane on Morning Mayhem is presented by Trader Bill's. Trader Bill's, your one-stop shop for all things lake.
This is SportsCenter.
In NFL and college football news, the Browns waived tight end Daquan Wright, and he now has an agreement in place with LSU to return to college if he clears waivers. Wright played under Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss the last 2 seasons. He had 635 yards and 5 touchdowns for the Rebels last year. He'll be the first player to return to college from the NFL. He will likely not be the last this season. In Major League Baseball yesterday, the Cubs beat the Mariners 19-2 for their 75th win of the season. Pedro Ramirez and Ian Happ of the Cubs each had 5 RBI days. This is the second big loss by Seattle in the past week as they fell to Milwaukee 22-0 last Tuesday. And the Braves beat Milwaukee 4-2 in the Little League Classic last night. Atlanta has a big series coming up starting Tuesday against the Dodgers. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hey, it's David Basil from my good friends at Bath Fitter. I've been working with Bath Fitter for over a decade now. They're a family-owned business that's been around for over 40 years. They are the pioneers of the acrylic bath industry. Bath Fitter offers a one-of-a-kind remodeling process that's easy and stress-free. They offer a wide selection of beautiful and functional showers, and with their seamless one-piece walls and hundreds of design options, you can refresh your shower space in no time. They can even convert your existing bath into a shower. Check them out online at bathfitterlittlerock.com and tell them Basil sent you.
Justin Acri for FanDuel in partnership with Oaklawn Sports, and it is now available right here in Arkansas. Baseball fans have got some news for you. The MLB season's in full swing, if you haven't heard, and FanDuel is giving you a chance to call your shot with daily dingers. What is that? Well, I'll tell you. Join the action. It's easy. You make your free pick on who's hitting a home run in their game, and if you're right, you will get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. It's just that simple. It's another reason why FanDuel is the home of home runs. See what we did there? So if you are ready to play, get over to FanDuel.com/Arkansas to get started and start making a little bit of cash with daily dingers. FanDuel.com/Arkansas. Opt in for daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of the major leagues. You do have to be 21 and up and present in Arkansas. No purchase necessary. There is an opt-in required. Bonus issued is a non-withdrawable profit boost token. And if you've got a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Got a team you want to scream at? Are we wrong about something? Agree, disagree. Call, text, and let us know. Message us online with live fan feedback at 1037thebuzz.com. Brought to you by Rainbow Restoration. When the unthinkable happens to your home or business, let Rainbow Restoration make you whole again. Now, back to your hosts, Justin Acri and Phil Elson on the Buzz Radio Network.
Oh, yeah. What's up? 10:34 in the zone. Justin Acri, Phil Elson, and Moose. It is the first Little Rock Touchdown Club. Again, thanks to our friends at Arkansas Spine and Pain, and we will get a guest or two on from there a little bit later. Saw Scott Davis running around. Scott with 2 T's. Just kidding, he only has 1. Got shorted a T, and I don't know what happened there.
It's like people that have 1 L in Phil. Oh, wait, that's me.
Yeah. Well, like Philip Martin spells Philip with 1 L.
But he spells Philip with 2.
No, he spells Philip with 1.
With 1? Oh,
yes.
Good. All right, good. Then he's the one with me. He's one of the real Philips.
Do you spell Philip with 1?
1.
Okay, you guys are fast friends. Look at that. All right, we are here at the Little Rock Touchdown Club. Ryan Silverfield coming up a little bit later. JW, I'm sure as interested as anybody is about hearing from Coach, but he's not interested in talking to us.
Jeez. All right.
He hanged up. Sorry, JW. If you want to try us back, we'll be happy to hear from you.
Hey, happy game week to you.
Thank you, brother.
Tell me, we got Thursday, UCA.
So I had spent a lot of time with Coach Brown over the last few days. We went up there for about a 90-minute, almost 2-hour visit about the roster, which they've added some depth. They're really excited about Donovan Amalo, who's their quarterback from Conway. Mm-hmm. They like their backup, too. They love the depth they've added on both lines. They've got some good playmakers, I think, on the back end defensively. They're going to be in good shape. I feel really good about it. They had a kicker that didn't miss a kick last year back, so that's always nice. And I think they're going to be very entertaining. And this is a good test. They're playing a top 25 team on the road to start with UT Martin on Thursday. And so I'm going to be off the next couple of days. We had scheduled this concert months ago to go see Jack Johnson, who I've always wanted to see. He doesn't really play the contiguous 48 very often, unless it's a festival or something.
So he's usually in Hawaii?
Yeah, a lot of times. And so he's playing a show with Lake Street Dive on tomorrow night, so we're going to go to that, and then we're going to mosey over to Martin on the way back and do the game on Thursday, and then I'll be back Friday morning before the show. So, yeah, I'm excited about seeing the Bears in action. I know they're ready to hit somebody who's not wearing their team or wearing their colors, and then had dinner with Coach and his wife the other night, too, so we got some insights. But, yeah, he's really, I think, optimistic about the upcoming season, and I'm excited for him. And they've obviously opting in now to the settlement gave them some dollars to work with, which certainly helps their cause, too. It's not, anything to compete with like SEC money, but for their level, it gives them a shot to be competitive and get some guys and retain some guys. So,
well, that's good, man. It's all coming to a head. One more preseason game left in the NFL. We got, I hate the term week 0. Is this week 0?
It is 0 week, but it is weird. You're right. I agree. It's dumb. Also, Friday, we're going to talk to Coach Hampton from UAPB. They start this weekend, too.
All right.
So the FCS teams are getting after it. That's your first. And I like this, actually. It's kind of fun. You get the taste of football with Division II coming up. I think maybe Division II starts next week. I have to look at that schedule again. But FCS this week. You do get a couple of FBS games this weekend. You get the Ireland game, of course, is this weekend with TCU and North Carolina. So we get to see Bobby Petrino's offense. And USC, I think he just pulled up. They're playing as well against San Jose State. And then next week you get the full slate of FBS games. And then the next week we get into the NFL. So it's like it's sort of leaks out, a little bit eking it out as it goes on.
I was thinking Petrino for a moment earlier today because do you remember Max Johnson, Brad Johnson's son, quarterback?
Where did he play? LSU?
Where didn't he play?
Okay.
LSU, A&M, North Carolina, and now Georgia Southern. He's announced as the starting quarterback for Georgia Southern University.
That's interesting.
A couple of days ago. He has played for Ed Orgeron, Jimbo Fisher, Mac Brown, Bill Parcells, and now he's playing for Clay Helton. And everywhere he's gone, the team has fallen apart.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's I'm sure it's not all his fault.
Yeah.
But he actually had like a decent second year at LSU. I remember Arkansas had a heck of a trouble getting him to the ground, even as big and kind of.
I remember his dad being at the game. Yeah, I remember that being a deal. Okay.
But I thought of Bobby Petrino, and I usually don't think of him, but I thought, well, Max Johnson. I don't think he played under Petrino's offense for Jimbo, and he's going to miss him at North Carolina. But he gets Clay Helton.
Let's take JW's call. He's on the phone here. What's up, JW?
I got a couple things. I'll start with the quarterback issue thing. If the defense wasn't making any kind of turnovers, and I don't know why we're really surprised about the interceptions when we have talked about the defense getting turnovers and getting turnovers and getting turnovers. And if we didn't hear any of that in practice, we'd be worried about the defense again. Maybe we got a little bit of a defense, but if we don't hear anything, they're bad. If they do anything, the offense is bad. So maybe it's a little bit of both. And, let's just not read into that too much. I mean, I don't know how many Green threw in practice, but we know how many he threw in games, and we don't need to go there. Second of all, and on that is with Trey Beatty said yesterday that didn't help A.J. Hill's case is when he threw a pick six. It's one thing to throw it in the end zone, but when you throw a pick six in the other end zone, I guess that will kind of help you deter your decision. And I'm going to go out with this, and it's probably not going to be very popular, but with Bill Clinton coming to speak, America has not forgotten about him and Jeffrey Epstein. I don't think it's a good look.
I don't know where to take that.
Well, I do. Yeah, come on, man. Anyway. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. As far as the thing he said first was actually somewhat germane to the conversation that we have on this show, is something that you've been saying over and over again. It's like, do you praise the offense when they play well against the defense? And do you give or do you disparage the defense and say, oh my God, they can't stop anybody because their offense was moving it down the field.
Yeah,
I mean,
every good is a bad when you hear practice reports or scrimmage reports.
Right.
Every explosive play for your offense is one given up by your defense.
Right.
I mean, to his point, though, like, I like to hear that the defense is making plays because they didn't make any last year. And I do think it's going to be a much better defensive team. In fact, I think they're going to be a defensive-oriented team this year. So I don't know. This is why I'm doing this tomorrow. Tomorrow's Top 10 Tuesday, thanks to 10 Fitness. I got 10 reasons to be optimistic and 10 reasons to be pessimistic. And every once in a while, you can really look at something you hear from scrimmage or practice and take that either way you want. Or just drop it as an if.
No, I think you're right. I mean, it is pointless. Again, let's see how they do against teams in other uniforms. You don't know anything yet. I mean, it's always that. There's always that fear. I'm sure for coaches it's the same way. Like, you really don't know what you got until you get out there and roll the ball out there.
Right, and hearing them talk about the guy that's lining up on the other side that's covering him isn't really going to tell you very much because they're going to tell you glowing things about their teammates.
Yeah. From our text line brought to you by Middleton Heat and Air, was it part of his new deal when he moved to the morning show that Christian gets as much vacation time as Justin Acri? I'll hang up and listen. No, he actually technically does not get as much vacation time as I do because the longer you work at the Buzz, the more vacation time you get per pay period. And I have been here for 20-plus years, and Christian hasn't, so he is not in my realm. But I'm glad that – here's a good thing about it, Robert, is that you obviously miss him a bunch, and – we love having him here too. So
he's here today. So I don't know what that.
I don't know where that's
about.
from.
Yeah.
I think there are listeners.
Maybe he said he's going to be off later this week or something.
It feels to me like there are listeners out there that have some of those wall calendars, and they are keeping track of the amount of vacation that you take on a month-by-month basis, Justin. So you better be mindful of that the next time you start taking more PTO. People have wall calendars and are monitoring.
Why do y'all still take that clown JW phone calls? I don't know. Sometimes he frustrates me. Again, whatever. My bosses this morning told me they will not be renewing our season baseball tickets. They've been donors for 20-plus years. That's the second worst thing you hear. The first one is when you go to the office and they're like, oh, we have to renew our insurance and your premiums are going up.
Yeah.
But the next worst thing would be we can't renew our season tickets because it's too expensive.
Here's part of this. This isn't a matter of people will point to Hunter and being greedy and blame it on him. Greed from the athletic department doesn't have anything to do with this. This is a matter of, do you want to have a competitive baseball program comparative to the way the other SEC schools run their baseball program? Well, then you kind of have to do this. It's an unfortunate happenstance and a reality of college sports today that college like Vaughn Walker used to be known as, Razorback baseball was known as the best kept secret in Razorback sports. It's been a long time since you could say that, but to the paying customer it still kind of was, and it isn't anymore because the costs of running a college baseball program have skyrocketed, and it is directly correlated to paying the players.
Everything is more expensive. I still think that's a good value, though. Honestly, I'm not here to defend the university, but I'm going to look at it from a logical standpoint. And again, these are all things you don't have to do. So if you have the luxury to do those kinds of things, you can do it. And if you don't, you can't. I get it. And if you've had great seats for a long time and you're getting moved, or they're asking you to basically double, if it's that much, I don't know how much it is, pay significantly more for your seats, it's probably frustrating. But I mean, there aren't too many things that haven't gone up over the years.
That's true.
I mean, breakfast cereal was exponentially too expensive years ago, and I don't know that it's a lot more expensive now, but most things have gone up quite a bit. I don't know if you've seen gas prices lately. I mean, that's just the way it is. So
part of this is it really is just correlated to the change in college sports. It's the asking prices for the donation levels at Bud Walton went up.
Yeah.
They're going to go up again in 4 years. If what I'm reading is true, like this is just something that you'll have to get used to. And here's one thing that I also know too. Now, your subscription to YouTube TV and your ESPN Plus and all of that is not free.
That's going up too.
The radio is free. You can still listen to all the game. I'm not trying to say don't worry about losing your tickets or not taking your tickets because the games are free. You can still be a fan We still broadcast all the games on the Buzz. I'll still be there with Bubba, and that's the one thing that doesn't go up in price.
It's true. Costs the same as it did 50 years ago. $0.00.
Got to have a radio or some way to listen to it.
That's right. All right, here's the news on ESPN. The news gets worse. ESPN is raising the price of its direct-to-consumer app, the price of ESPN Unlimited, the all-encompassing tier of the network's app that includes access to live linear television feeds across the family networks will increase from $29.99 to $31.99 a month beginning September 17th, according to the company's support page.
Yeah, it all goes up. And usually it goes up. We're just raising your price $2, $3 a month, but then you get that kind of raised price from 6 or 7 different companies, and the next thing you know, it's now $25 more a month you're paying for subscriptions than you were before.
Annual subscriptions also increasing, now cost $319.99, up $20 from the $299.99 last August. The rebranded version of ESPN Plus that does not include the flagship ESPN channels will also see its price increase from $12.99 to $13.99 a month, with the annual subscription also being bumped up by $10.
I like things better when we bundled everything with cable.
What's gotten cheaper over the last 10 years? That'd be a fun top 10 list. Could we come up with 10 things
that have actually gotten cheaper?
Yeah.
Well, the best things in life are still free. That's the only thing I've got for you.
What do you think about, is there inflation with vices? Like, I've never done certain things from a illegal activity standpoint, but I wonder if it costs the same amount to do those things as it did 20 years ago or 10 years ago.
Things on the black market?
Drugs and other things you might do that would be illegal.
Would you like to find an anonymous guest somewhere out there that comes on the show with a mask?
We had a guy that called up and
his voice,
talked to us about his weed business one time after we talked about weed. It was pretty hilarious.
Well, maybe the price on weed went down.
That's what I'm asking. I don't know. I mean, that's I don't know. So,
well, the price, sports, anything in sports. I think it'd be interesting though. No, if you were to take sports tickets, concessions, just at Razorback games, and look at the inflation in price in the last 10 years at Razorback baseball compared to the inflation in what one visit to the grocery store is you per month.
Huh.
And just look at what the difference is.
Yeah.
If the percentage and the price increase would be the same. Because it used to get, you remember I used to have a thing for the peanut M&Ms at Razorback baseball games. They used to be $2 a box. I used to be able to get 4 of them with my $8 voucher. Now I got a $12 voucher, and I can only get 2 boxes of the peanut M&Ms.
They're $6 a piece?
I don't even remember how much they are anymore. I don't get them that much. I just stopped getting them because it was too much.
Why don't you BYOM and M?
Well, because you got to do something with the money they give you. I just feel weird if I don't.
Why don't you go get a dog and put ketchup on it like you normally do, you loser?
Well, it just depends on how many hot dogs I can eat.
You eat a dog and a soda, and you can probably get one box of candy.
I can't eat. If we're doing like 35 hog games at Bone
Walker,
I'm not eating
in this
35
conversation.
hot dogs.
Quit your crying, you big baby. You get $12 for free. I don't want to hear about it. If you don't like the prices, bring your own M&Ms. Like people are sneaking in at the movie theater.
I don't care because I don't pay money for this. It's
oh,
free
you're just
money
saying in general.
I'm
yeah.
just talking about the increase.
You're looking
in
out for the man. You're looking out for the man.
My question is inflation in sports more so than inflation at the grocery store?
I don't know.
Because that's what everybody points to is the grocery store, and their trip now costs more, X amount than it did 3 years ago.
There's competition in groceries at least, and at the Baum Walker, once you're inside, you have no choice but to buy that hot dog from them and their beer from them. And I will tell you this, their alcohol prices are outrageous. But you don't have to drink, so that's on you. What's up, Scott?
Hey, guys. Just want to give a little more color to the increase. I 100% agree with you. The price of the season ticket is a great value. The price of the concession stand has gone nuts. But the big thing that hit long-time season ticket holders Friday was that, just for an example, our group, we would have to increase our annual foundation donation $25,000 a year to keep our seats where they are.
Okay.
So that's a little bit different color than just increasing ticket prices a couple of dollars. So that's the big pushback. Now we will keep our tickets. We will probably not keep our tickets where they are.
Right.
But that's the biggest complaint. And these people are people that I hesitate to say built, but truly built the program. We were the ones there on Sundays and Saturdays against LSU and Texas and Tennessee when there were 1,000 people there. Now it seems like our money's not good enough for the U of A. So,
Scott, before you
a couple of 2 cents there, but
hey, before you go, do you have any idea how much worse your seats will be with the same spending level as far as the donation goes?
I don't. I have an appointment later today to talk to a couple of folks from the foundation to try to get a better understanding there.
Yeah.
I really don't. You know, when they did the receipt 5 years ago, if you were between the dugouts, so behind home plate, you had to up your donation to $10,000. If you were like dugout out to the end of the dugout, it was like to $5,000. But now the only people that are guaranteed their existing seats are $40,000 a year plus donors. Everybody else from top down are going to be reseated based off demand and donor level.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, hey, if you feel like it and you're up for it, I'd love to hear from you after you have the meeting and let us know what that looks like for you, because I'm curious.
Okay, sounds good, guys.
All right.
Great discussion again.
Thanks, Scott.
Good topic. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be calling about it. Talk to you guys
Appreciate
later.
it. Thank you. Now I got to get a third job so I can afford to have a couple of beers when I go to the ballpark, because that's the really expensive piece of the puzzle.
I don't drink during Razorback baseball games.
Well, you're working. I'm not.
I got to wait till after, depending on the final score.
Yeah, well, wherever you're getting it's cheaper than at the ballpark, I promise you that. Our friends over at UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine are here to help you if you got an orthopedic problem: hip, knee, shoulder, elbow, spine, hand, foot. They can't do much for the pain in your wallet, but you can talk to the people at the foundation about that, I guess. UAMS Health is a supporter of the Razorbacks, and they are the official orthopedic and sports medicine provider for the Hogs. And, again, they're doing good work trying to keep those top-notch athletes on the field. Arkansas's largest orthopedic team and the state's most fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons, true experts about teaching and research, and they're relied on by a lot of other physicians as well. They do great work and have for a long time, and if you have questions, you can get more information about all of their facilities and the ways they can help you from an orthopedic standpoint at 501-686-TOSH. That's 501-686-8674. We're back at the Little Rock Touchdown Club to wrap up our first hour. Ryan Silverfield's going to be with us in about 20 minutes or so. Stick around. It's The Zone.
Pain has changed. So has the treatment. Arkansas Spine and Pain isn't your ordinary pain clinic. Advanced interventional therapies can give patients like you options that go far beyond simply managing your pain. Their specialists work to identify the source of your pain and develop a treatment pathway designed to reduce pain, restore function, and get you back to living. Instead of just managing the pain, treat the pain. Arkansas Spine and Pain, not your ordinary pain clinic. Advanced treatments, better options, ASAP.
Hey, this is Mitch at Red River Auto Group, and I'm working today. And today, as always, we're fighting where other dealers are advertising online prices that they actually don't give. You walk in the store, they're at $1,900, $2,900, or they're saying you don't qualify for this rebate or that rebate. And of course, we have to explain that to the customers. It had me thinking, they're probably explaining to their customers that we do the same thing. Well, we do not. Whatever you see online at RedRiverAutoGroup.com will be the price you get. Check us out, RedRiverAutoGroup.com.
This is Trey Johnson with HJ Trailer Sales. Spring is here, and y'all have made us the #1 truck bed dealer in the state. We want to thank you for your support and business. If you're looking for the best customer service from folks that can handle any type of trailer and take care of you after the sale, with hometown service, it's HJ Trailer Sales. Our team will handle all your service and warranty needs. See what great customer service looks like at HJ Trailer Sales on Albert Pike in Hot Springs, or check us out on Facebook.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. The most anticipated movie of 2026 is The Odyssey, a sprawling $250 million epic from Christopher Nolan. It is the classic tale from Homer. That's Homer the Greek, not Homer Simpson. And early reviews are terrific. The only challenge is going to be weathering yet another 3-hour film with no bathroom breaks. Fortunately, if you have to make a run to the restroom, you can catch up on the story as it's only been around for about 3,000 years. One of the many great things about Double B's is that it won't take 3 hours to make a pit stop at Arkansas's favorite place. Double B's 34 locations across the state will get you on your way with speed and quality, because Double B's is where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Double B's.
We want to hear from you, too. Call us at 501-661-1037 on the Jim's Razorback Pizza Hotline. And call Jim's Razorback Pizza when you want delicious pizza, pasta, salads, sandwiches, and more. Now, back to your hosts, Justin Acri and Phil Elson on the Buzz Radio Network.
We're back at the Touchdown Club, by the way. Ryan Silverfield in about 20 minutes or so. We'll see what time he rolls in. They were flying in this morning, so we'll see. But there was a couple funny things that came out of some of the practices, and we talked about a little bit of this already to some degree. But let's hear from Jim Harbaugh. Now, we heard about this the other day, but apparently he's sticking to his guns. He is very, very excited about his quarterback, Justin Herbert, and maybe a little bit to the point where, well, Jim has lost his mind, I'm afraid.
About Justin Herbert, or are you still looking to find out?
Oh, there's no doubt. Justin Herbert, to me, is the best there ever was.
Okay. Insane.
All right.
Just doubling down on that. I don't think Kevin O'Connell's going to say that Kyler Murray is the best that ever was, but he is his quarterback, or one of them, in Minnesota. And here is Kevin O'Connell talking about the little guy, Kyler Murray.
It's funny because I don't know if you guys caught it in Drew Brees' Hall of Fame speech. He told the story about when he told Cam Cameron and Brian Schottenheimer he couldn't see somebody who was open, and they told him it's your job to see. So, the other day in practice, because I showed the quarterbacks that clip and I showed them some other things because I thought Drew did an unbelievable job in that speech. But he couldn't see on a play, and he didn't want to tell me that, so he prefaced it with, I know I'm not allowed to say this, but, and, we both got a laugh out of it. It's going to happen from time to time, depending on the angles and how the protection and the rush kind of pattern works. That's going to be part of it, but he also has a lot of experience understanding space based upon the defense that they play, space based upon what we're trying to do from a standpoint of attacking voids and vacancies. And so we've seen some really good examples of him being able to overcome that, play in rhythm and anticipate some throws. And we've also seen some times where we got to get him more reps.
Got some sound from Deshaun Watson talking about his interaction with the fans, and we'll hear from him a little bit later on in the show. Ryan Silverfield, Red Right Report, all coming up after the break. We are here at the Little Rock Touchdown Club, thanks to Arkansas Spine and Pain. Stick around. It's going to be a fun hour.
This is Justin Acri. When joint pain or an injury slows you down, turn to UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Arkansas's largest orthopedic team and the state's most fellowship-trained surgeons offer expert care for sports injuries and problems affecting the hip, knee, shoulder, spine, hand, foot, ankle, and more. Care is easy to access at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital and the new location on Rodney Parham in Little Rock, next to UAMS Health Urology Center. For walk-in care, choose UAMS Ortho now. Call 501-686-TOSH when you think ortho, think UAMS.
What if someone did play-by-play of your life? Example, what would it sound like if you visited, say, Genesis of Conway? There's the arrival. Look at the reaction on that face at seeing a dealership that is so luxurious. And going for a test drive now of a GV80, and the smile is huge. And here it comes, the big play, $8,000 off the price of that very same GV80. Let's hear it again in slow motion. $8,000 off. Winner, Genesis of Conway. The future of luxury today.
Join Morning Mayhem on the road this Friday, taking the show to Sherwood to pay a visit to Frank Fletcher and crew at Fletcher Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
No matter what you do,
you were finished.
We can't be stopped.
Oh, well, allow me to retort.
103.7 The Buzz.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
KABZ, Little Rock.
The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office is asking for video and photos that will help in a shooting investigation. Sheriff officials say shots were fired on Saturday morning at a home on Thompson Street in the College Station area around 5:30. There's no information about any possible injuries or a suspect. And Jacksonville Elementary School will remain closed today and tomorrow after elevated mold levels were discovered. Crews found 3 malfunctioning outdoor air systems that caused humid air instead of clean air to circulate throughout the building. Air quality tests are being done and crews are fixing the issues. In the meantime, elementary students will continue to go to the Jacksonville High School campus. Absences for today and tomorrow will not be counted. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm KRK's Jessica Rockwell.
Benihana Special, $5, your choice. Sushi rolls
and chicken fried rice, $5. Come see us at Benihana Bar Monday through Wednesday, lunch and dinner.
With KARK's Pat Walker.
Rain and thunderstorms are likely this morning, a much lower rain chance, though, this afternoon. And with it being cloudy to mostly cloudy, it's going to keep that temperature down. Just a high of 88 today with our 60% chance of rain. Tonight, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of showers and a low of 73. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Pat Walker.
There's a place that pulses with possibility when you step through the door, where 1 second could change everything. That place is Oaklawn Hot Springs, home to a 24/7 smoke-free casino with more than 1,400 slots, over 30 table games, an exclusive high-limits area and sportsbook. And when you join Oaklawn Rewards, every play can earn points, comps, free play, and exclusive promotions, with new chances to win big every month. Join the fun. Plan your trip at Oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Lost in the real estate jungle? Boundary or easement dispute? Title problem? Hire Lion Legal. When in war, you need to roar. For exceptional communication and exceptional results, hire Lion Legal to come roaring to the rescue.
Shipments of spring and summer fashions are arriving at Bell & Sword. That means swimwear from Saks, Peter Millar golf wear and shirts, Johnny O's store within a store. Be sure to check out the Faraday line and Martin Dingman shoes and leather goods. So hurry in for a great value on quality men's clothing at Bell & Sword for your spring and summer items, and you'll look fantastic. Bell & Sword, 1011 Oak Street in downtown Conway on Facebook and Instagram. Is your yard something you'd like to improve and make better? At Acadi's Touch Landscaping, they bring precision and craftsmanship to every project, from drain work that protects your property to retaining walls, decks, and fencing built to last. They also install synthetic turf and custom flower beds for low maintenance, year-round beauty. One team done right the first time. Call 501-794-2770. That's 501-794-2770.
In my family, service isn't something we watch from a distance. And the 3 generations of ladies in my family don't just carry the name, we carry the license. Christine Roller, my grandmother, Sue Roller Jenkins, my mother, and me, Renata Jenkins Byler. 3 generations of women, all licensed funeral directors. All 3 personally waited on families. We don't just oversee funerals, we serve families. That's a legacy of service you won't find anywhere else in Central Arkansas. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect.
At Greenway Equipment, there's a face behind every handshake, a name behind every counter, and a set of hands that knows John Deere equipment the way you know your land. Greenway has spent years building something that won't show up on a spec sheet. A team that takes your work personally, that knows trust is grown, not given. So when you call, Greenway answers. Visit a location today or online at gogreenway.com.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders, damaged windshields, and slick roads quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter Agents Alex Blake, Jason Daly, or Jamie Marsh in Little Rock today.
Caden Kittler on Morning Mayhem is brought to you by J. Martin Law. Personal injury, estate planning, or family law. Call 24/7 at 501-951-1333. Don't delay. Call Jay.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Paid for by the Arkansas Highway Safety Office.
Summer is quickly coming to an end, but you've still got some time to take advantage of some truly amazing deals here at Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram.
That's right, Terry. We've got 0% financing and no payments for 90 days on a huge selection of 1,500 trucks. And you can get up to $22,000 off of crew cab four-wheel drives.
So come see us and make this the summer at Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram, Alcoa Road in Benton, or online at chriscranecars.com.
Get in the conversation with live fan feedback at 1037thebuzz.com. Presented on The Zone by Rainbow Restoration. When the unthinkable happens to your home or business, damage from water, smoke, fire, or mold, let Rainbow Restoration make you whole again. RainbowRestores.com. They restore, you recover.
You're in the zone. Arkansas's longest-running midday sports talk show. Coming to you live from the Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Studio. Oaklawn, Arkansas's only casino resort.
20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name.
With your hosts, Justin Acri and Phil Elson on the Buzz Radio Network. The Zone is live from the Little Rock Touchdown Club. Brought to you by Arkansas Spine and Pain. Justin and Phil will bring you the show each week from the DoubleTree downtown with interviews from each speaker and their comments to the club live. It's The Zone on location at the Little Rock Touchdown Club. Brought to you by Arkansas Spine and Pain. Find them at arkansasspineandpain.com. The Red White Report is brought to you by Ortho Now, your walk-in solution for orthopedic care at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health.
All right, we're going to fit in a Red-White Report while we await the arrival of Razorback head football coach Ryan Silverfield at the Little Rock Touchdown Club. The first meeting of the season. We are live at the DoubleTree Hotel. Justin is out for just a moment. And let's get a look at what's going on in Razorback sports for the time being. No football practice today. Coach Ryan Silverfield said he likes to give the team off on Mondays, morning practices, and zero media viewing, along with limited media appearances by players Tuesday and Thursday this week. Also this week, we'll have the debut of the Ryan Silverfield radio show be carried live on Buzz 2 106.7 at 6 o'clock in the evening. That is a programming change for Coach Silverfield under him. This is a 1 hour differential, so instead of it being on Buzz 103.7, it's going to be a 106.7 Buzz 2. We did hear from two players post-practice Sunday, starting quarterback KJ Jackson and starting star Kamori House. KJ, of course, was named the starting quarterback, and here were his thoughts on that.
Yeah, me and AJ, we've been battling all camp, and I think we truly made each other better all camp. Every single day came to work with a lot of excitement, a lot of energy. Coach Krams brought us in his office today and kind of broke the news to us and told us that, we still both got to go out there and compete every single day and be the best players that we can for the team.
Well, there's a very good chance that if KJ Jackson is the quarterback of the offense, well, there's the quarterback of the defense. It may be Kamori House. Came over to Arkansas from North Carolina after playing as a linebacker, leading them in tackles, and here he is now. He's going to be the starting star for the Razorbacks. Kamori here talking on how the defense looked a little bit better against an offense that had a lot of explosive plays in the second scrimmage.
Hey, sorry, Phil. We don't have anything from House.
All right, well, we've got Ryan Silverfield here, though, talking on Steven Souls, separating himself at the jack position. He's in a battle with Charlie Collins, but we would expect to see Steven Souls, a transfer from Kentucky, starting at the jack position.
And Steven Souls has done a really nice job there. He has kind of almost separated himself probably as a starter there. But then you got to look at different things. We talked about this last week, right? Like if we're playing a team that lines up in 13 personnel, all right, and they say, hey, we're going to sit there and line up and run the ball, try to run the ball at you every play. A guy like Charlie Collins, who I love and has done some really good things, until Charlie Collins put that weight on, and I've challenged him, and I'm doing so right now publicly, it's going to be hard for him to hold up versus a team that's going to line up with 340-pound offensive tackles over him every play. But if it's a team that's tempo and pass rush, maybe Charlie does get the start. And so kind of look at that game by game. But Steven Souls at that jack position has done a really nice job, and the rest of those guys we're going to continue to see who can go in there and fill that role.
Collins listed at 233 pounds on the Razorback roster right now. That's down 22 pounds from last year. Moving over to baseball in the major leagues, Hagen Smith continues to be dominant in his short stint with the White Sox. 2 perfect innings in Chicago's 2-1 win over the Mets yesterday. Had his 5th scoreless outing, also his 5th outing out of 6 total, where he's allowed 0 runs and 0 base hits. Here's the sound of Hagen Smith punching out 3 batters.
3-2. Got him swinging. Just a filthy slider out number one. Strike three called as Hagen Smith back-to-back punch-outs. 2-2. Yeah, buddy! Hagen Smith, 3 punch-outs.
Smith now 13 strikeouts in 8 innings, only 7 base runners allowed in those 8 innings in his time with the White Sox. Also in that same game, Andrew Benintendi delivered an RBI double, giving him a base hit, and an RBI in 3 of the last 4 games. St. Louis righty Ryan Stanek had a scoreless inning Sunday, but the Cardinal bullpen imploded, allowing 6 runs to the Phillies in the 9th inning and lost. And a note out of the minor leagues where Vahiba Aloy hit his 5th AA home run for the Bowie Bay Sox. That gives him 20 total home runs in the minors in his first full season of professional baseball. And that is your Red White Report, Monday, August 24th. Thank you very much.
Hercules, good job. Ryan Silverfield is on the ground. Not literally, but his plane is.
Wheels down.
Yeah, wheels down in Little Rock, and so they will be here momentarily, next 5-8 minutes, I assume.
He mentioned in the post-practice presser yesterday that he was excited to be here at the Touchdown Club today, so it's something that was on his mind.
I wonder if Hunter's coming with him.
I thought the same thing, and I think the answer would be no. My guess is we'll see Kyle Parkinson here with him.
Well, I love KP. That's great. I'll take him. All right, we're going to hit our break a little bit early just to make sure we're ready here, so it'll be kind of a longer segment. We can visit with Coach when he gets here, and then we've got Scott Davis over there. We'll do some game balls and jock straps on the other side of the break while we're filling in the gap waiting for Coach. How about that?
Sounds good.
Yeah, so let's turn it in a little bit early here. We've got some texts coming in from our Middleton Eaton Air text line as well, some live fan feedback through our Listen Live, brought to you by Rainbow Restoration as well.
Got a question of the day for you, too.
Oh, yeah, talk to me, Goose.
What do you think of KJ Jackson as the Hogs starting quarterback? 3 options. Kid's going to be very good, cautiously optimistic, or A.J. Hill should be the starter. And it looks like 2 out of every 3 votes right now, Justin, is cautiously optimistic. Nobody thinks A.J. should have been the starter.
That's where Justin voted.
Cautiously optimistic?
See,
that's where I am.
Yeah.
I liked what I saw from KJ Jackson last year. I like the things I hear. Just didn't see enough.
Right. Small sample size, but feel good about it. I'm with you. All right, I want to talk about Burroughs and Mr. Franks. They've got a little larger sample size. They've been doing this for a long, long time when it comes to luxury eyewear, and they're located conveniently in the Heights. So if you are looking for a place to look your best, you go there. It's pretty simple. Chrome Hearts, one of the great sunglass brands that they've got. And it's one of the most popular brands as well. So go check those out if you want to stand out when it comes to sunglasses, and whether you need prescription sunglasses or not, they are going to make you look awesome. And the key is you're going to get things there that you can't get anywhere else around town. So I would strongly encourage you to go see our friends on R Street in the Heights. Also, they got a deal on Cartier going on until the end of August. And so now is a great time to go visit our friends at Burroughs and Mr. Franks. They've got designer frames, more of them coming in every day. And again, they've got that in-store lab, so if you need prescription sunglasses, they can help you out and hook you up. Zeiss lenses for their regular eyewear as well, top-notch and available only at Burroughs and Mr. Franks. There's so many special things about this place, and it's a low-stress, comfortable buying experience too. So again, if you're going to wear glasses every day, you might as well get something that's going to be unique and stand out from the crowd. Why do you want to look like everybody else? 5901 R Street in the Heights. It's Burroughs and Mr. Franks. Go see our friends over there real soon and take advantage of that Cartier deal before the end of the month. We're back after this.
10 Fitness brings you Top 10 Tuesdays with The Zone. Each week, Justin and Phil will dive into a different Top 10 list and take your calls. Brought to you by 10 Fitness. Turn back the clock on gym prices.
This is Sports Center.
Arkansas football is named a starter at quarterback in KJ Jackson, beating out Memphis transfer A.J. Hill. Jackson played in 5 games last year, starting 1. He had 441 passing yards for 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in 54 passing attempts, while adding 52 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns there. We are now 12 days away from the start of the Arkansas football season against North Alabama. And the Woodrock Touchdown Club starts today. Arkansas head coach Ryan Silverfield is the first guest. The Zone will speak to the head hog in the 11 o'clock hour, and the Buzz will carry his comments to the club live in the 12 o'clock hour. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
Hello, this is Justin Acri. When joint pain or an injury slows you down, turn to UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Arkansas's largest orthopedic team and the state's most fellowship-trained surgeons offer expert care for sports injuries and problems affecting the hip, knee, shoulder, spine, hand, foot, ankle, and more. Care is easy to access at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital and the new location on Rodney Parham in Little Rock, next to UAMS Health Urology Center. For walk-in care, choose UAMS Ortho now. Call 501-686-TOSH. When you think ortho, think UAMS.
Looking for a better deal on your next vehicle? Make the smart drive to Smart Auto Group. Since 1906, Smart Auto Group has been helping drivers find the right vehicle at the right price. Arkansas's oldest auto groups. Shop a huge selection of Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Hyundai, and Honda vehicles, all backed by the hometown service you can trust. You'll find great selection and great value at Smart Auto Group. Make the smart drive today and start saving at smartdrive.com.
The Hustler end of year sale happening now at Cabot Outdoors. Save big on select Hustler zero-turn mowers. Take home the X-Ride 60-inch or the 52-inch and 42-inch and get 0% financing for 42 months with approved credit at Cabot Outdoors. Don't miss the great deals on the Hustler lineup, built for performance and value. Cabot Outdoors, your trusted source for Hustler and DeWalt equipment. Get mowing today. CabotOutdoors.com or stop by Cabot Outdoors today.
The Saracen Casino Hotel is now open and accepting reservations. Saracen's new 14-story hotel features 318 modern guest rooms and suites, offering luxe accommodations paired with the elevated amenities and the southern hospitality customers have come to expect from Saracen Casino Resort. And while you're at it, don't skip dinner at Red Oak, recognized as Arkansas's best restaurant for 5 years running. Book your stay with Saracen by visiting SaracenResort.com or calling Saracen today.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET.
You're back in the zone, a place filled with sports, fun, knowledge, and sarcasm. Now, let's get back to more of the show in the Oaklawn Hot Springs studio with your hosts, Justin Acri and Phil Elson.
All right, then. It is 11:17. Thanks for being with us. Justin Acri, Phil Elson, and we are thrilled to join you from the first meeting of the Little Rock Touchdown Club. And we're going to talk to our friends from Arkansas Spine and Pain in a little bit, who are sponsoring our appearances here every week. Scott Davis will be on in a little bit. Ryan Silverfield should be here in just a few minutes as well, so we're going to hold up and wait for him. And I think we may hold off on game balls and jock straps until the 45 mark. We can let Scott jump in with us on that. This segment's brought to you in part by our friends at FanDuel. Just saw Wayne Smith, the GM of Oaklawn, rolling here, and he's, I'm sure, enjoying the partnership that they've got with FanDuel, available here in the state. And if you're a baseball fan, they've got big hits getting even bigger with Dinger Tuesdays on FanDuel. Customers choose their own reward every Tuesday to use on home run bets. How will you play your game? Option 1 is the bet reset. Use it on your wager, and you get refunded in bonus bets if your bet loses. Option 2, 50% profit boost. Make your bet, activate the profit boost, and if it hits, extra winnings at no extra cost. Make your choice, and the reward will be yours and ready to use on your next home run bet. Visit FanDuel.com/Arkansas to choose your reward for home run bets every Dinger Tuesday. Play ball with the home for home runs on FanDuel, an official partner of the Major League Baseball folks. Got to be 21 up and here in Arkansas. And if you have a gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER. Phil, we were talking baseball a little bit ago on the break and didn't get a chance to mention another former Razorback who's doing well, and his organization doing really well at the Major League level as well.
Yeah, Gage Wood. We had a texter out of the 501 on the Middleton Heat and Air text line ask about Gage Wood. That is my bad for not updating you on Gage, because he threw 5 very good innings for AA Reading over the weekend against Portland. That's the Boston Red Sox AA team. 5 innings, 1 unearned run. 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. He's really having a good season at AA since coming up from Single A. I do wonder, though, about Gage and whether or not the Phillies may call him up for postseason, just because they're building his pitch count up now. I mean, they've got him going from 3 innings and now 4 innings, now 5 innings the last 2 starts, and I just wonder if he can get big league batters out right now. It's got to be a little bit of a difficult thing to balance the development that they've been working all throughout the season with this feeling like we could throw him in there for an inning and he'll get guys out, because they could probably use him.
What are the things we have to ask Ryan Silverfield about?
Oh, man. I wonder how much time he's been in Little Rock. I mean, you could ask him all these things about the team that he's built and the roster and all of that. He's had to put so much time and energy into raising money before the team arrived on campus in the spring, and then hit that again before they arrived in the summer, and then now you got a chance to finally focus on football. So I imagine that's got to feel so freeing to him.
Yeah.
I mean, there's this pressure of picking who your starters are going to be, installing everything, going through your camp, and learning about what it's like to be the Razorback coach at the same time in the SEC. But at the same time, it's like, it's got to feel freeing to not have to worry right now, and I'm sure you'll have to do it all over again once the season's over. And at moments like this, you're fundraising, even though you're not asking people for money, because I think every time you go out and speak as the face of a program, you're kind of raising money.
Let's not talk about money with him. We only have 5 minutes with him.
That's it? Just 5?
Yeah, maybe 10 or 15.
Well, so what do you want to ask him? I'm
curious about his love of the sport. He didn't play in college. He had an injury. I'm curious what that was about. What kind of player was he? How, who developed his passion for football? Obviously, we're going to ask about the quarterbacks. I'm curious about camp in Arkansas versus camp in Memphis. I'm curious about his relationship with Mike Norvell, because obviously, Mike opened a door for him there that led to him becoming a head coach, which obviously led to this. Not that he, didn't earn a lot of that on his own, but, somebody's got to give you a chance. So those are some things I wanted to kind of delve into. But we'll get game balls and jock straps again coming up a little bit later. A couple things here. This is from our text line. The problem at Baum is, this person says, they're not giving us the option to pay more and keep our seats. I called the ticket office to keep the same 2 seats I've had for 15 years, but my donation has to go from $1,500 to $15,000. We are way out in Section 100. Well, you're going to be further out in Section 100, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I guess so. And
that's a big. You can't ask somebody to spend 10 times what they're spending. I mean, that's an awfully big jump if that's true.
But what that tells you too is that if they feel they have people waiting, there are people waiting to spend that.
By when I say you can't, you obviously can.
Yeah.
I would say you shouldn't. If you got people who've been loyal for 15 years, you should not increase their mandated donation by 10 times. I think that's crazy. But you're right. I mean, if there are, again, it is all supply and demand, and that's fine. The problem is when the team doesn't do well, if that ever happens, God forbid, baseball team becomes not great. Well, you know what that means.
Well, and so that's the mantra you got to feed. So you reseeded Razorback Stadium after a 2-10, 0-8 season, right? It's just you had to do it. This is a college sports thing. It is not just a Razorback sports thing.
Beer, food, and overall concession at the games are crazy. They definitely are not cheap by any means. AMM prices have gone down? What's that?
I don't know what AMM is.
Jake says weed's a little cheaper these days, from a dispensary at least. Purists claim the quality has suffered, though.
That's probably Arkansas medical marijuana, since that's what you're talking
okay. All right. Televisions have... Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't buy it either one, so I don't know. Televisions have gone down. That's a great point. Televisions are... I mean, I said this the other day, half jokingly. They're free. I mean, TVs are so big. Remember when I went off on my rant about sports bars that have bad TVs? There is zero excuse for having a bad TV inside a sports bar today. You can replace it for $300, and if your sports bar can't afford to spend $300 on a television, you probably should not be in business.
But that's a good point. TVs did get cheaper. Some computers have gotten, I guess in the last few months, though, they got the prices went up again.
I paid $2,000 for a plasma TV one time.
I remember when the prices were crazy.
And that wasn't even nuts.
You're not even buying
it was like 50 inches, too. Now you can get an 85 for like $500. It's insane.
It is.
Maybe
crazy.
A little more than that.
Hey, looks like there's a football coach ready to come over here.
Hi, Coach. How are you? Good to see you.
Nice to meet you, Coach.
20 minutes. You got it. Thanks so much, Debbie. You appreciate it. Yeah. I don't know what they flew you at, Coach, but we gotta increase that speed. Good to have you. Ryan Silverfield joining us here. Justin Acri, Phil Elson. How are you?
Great. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Seem awful calm for a guy that's 2 weeks from a game.
You got to be, right? We've the energy shows in between the white lines, but ready to get this thing kicked off before you know it.
Have you always been a cool dude? I mean, you're a pretty laid-back guy. I've seen you in a group of, big donors, very relaxed. I mean, maybe a little more intense on the football field when you're at practice and games, but always been kind of a chilled-out sort of fella?
I think so. I think over the years you learn that, I'm in my best mindset when everything's calm, cool, and collected, right? Obviously there's things that are out of our control, but if we're playing in front of 110,000 people, or I'm talking to donors, or people of influence, all those things. I'm in my best mindset when I can just sit here and, okay, hey, I got to be able to handle it, be able to have the conversation, be able to listen as well. I think too often, head coaches especially, they want to do all the talking. So often I want to listen, maybe formulate the thoughts so I can put things in the right perspective and then attack accordingly. Now, some people will tell you I'm crazy, right? I mean, you see, before we run out of the locker room, my eyes will be bulging out. There'll be probably blood vessels popped. I'll be sweating. I'll be cursing. And it's an absolute insane asylum. And but I think you get that right mix. And I think that's what the players appreciate. What you see is what you get.
Mm-hmm.
And there's times that it's the screws are loose, and other times, hey, calm, cool, and collected. Let's go get this thing.
You're going to get all the football questions. So I'm just curious about your love of the game, where your kind of development of the love of football. And I know your career was cut short because of injury. I'm curious, too, what was Ryan Silverfield a player like?
Yeah, listen, you look at me, you'd say there's no way he was a defensive lineman, but very fortunate, played at a good place down in Jacksonville, Florida, and it was pretty interesting. Our sophomore year, we were the number 1 ranked team in the entire country, and I was the starting nose guard.
That's wild.
200 pounds, but I think one of those things, I like to throw punches, right? I was a physical, aspect of it. Now I probably get my butt kicked quite often, but good players surrounding us, and I think that was the mentality, right? Calm, cool, and collected. You take the field, that switch has to go off, and I think that's kind of how I played the game, and it just was very fortunate. But I always loved being around my teammates. I love the team aspect of it, and so you think about the love of the game, that's kind of where it came from. You just enjoy it. Everyone always says, hey, when you're done playing, and obviously guys in the NFL, you're going to miss the locker room, you're going to miss your teammates, and no different than when the injury, cut my playing career short. I certainly didn't have a long-winded playing, right? I've been lucky to play D3 football or something of that nature. But ultimately, okay, hey, I miss being around it. I miss being around the guys, so I started coaching. And then, 1 or 2 years into this thing, I said, man, I can make a difference in these young men's lives. And even at the age of 20, when I was a full-time position coach at the college level, I said, man, this is unique. I enjoyed being able to teach from the classroom and then having it carry over to the field. And even talking to some of these guys about life lessons. And obviously, college football's changed. Football in general has. But I still believe in pouring into guys and making a difference.
I was going to ask you about Coach Norvell, too. I covered him when he was at UCA and know him a little bit now. Of course, UCA is going down there to play him a little bit later this year. But, you guys obviously had a good relationship, and you showed enough there that they gave you the opportunity to be the head coach there and did well there. What's your relationship like with Mike, and how did you guys get together in the first place?
Yeah, Mike and I have a great relationship. I think one of the biggest things is we've always been transparent and open with each other. So I first met him. I was with the Minnesota Vikings for 6 years, and then in between, when I was trying to figure out what was next for me, I went down and lived in Scottsdale, Arizona. The Vikings were still paying me, and I said, that's a good place to go to kind of get out of Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And, obviously he was at Arizona State at the time. They had me come by and visit with them and kind of go through some stuff. And so Mike and I developed a relationship, and they said, hey, can you, if you're not going to do anything this year, would you come and help out the staff and kind of be a part of this thing? And in the middle of the season, the Detroit Lions actually hired me, so I couldn't get away from the cold. And so the Lions were having some trouble with some things. They let go some coaches in the middle of the season. And, walked into Mike's office and said, hey, I'm going to go up to Detroit. I wish you the best and good luck to you, and I'm sure we'll keep in touch. And in my whole brain, I was like, hey, I'm just going to stay in the NFL as a young coach, and that's kind of be my career and what we'll call of it. And then it was a Thursday night game. Okay, we were playing the Green Bay Packers. We were Hail Mary away. Aaron Rodgers beat us on a Hail Mary, a Thursday night game. It was been the largest turnaround in NFL history. It would have been 7-1, okay? But obviously we lost that game. But that same night, Norvell got named the Memphis head coach. About 3 a.m., I'm sitting in my hotel floor in Detroit, and Norvell calls me and says, hey, you want to come with me to Memphis? I said, no, but good luck to you. I wish you nothing but the best, but I think we're going to be able to keep our jobs here with the Lions, and I'm an NFL guy, and college football is probably not for me, and good luck. Well, he was persistent, and we kept in touch and kept calling, and then next thing you know, he said, hey, come to Memphis. And our relationship really grew because of the loyalty. I said, if I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to be with you, I'm going to be committed to you, and I'm going to be committed to the university. I'm not going to be one of those coaches, like so often, that constantly looks for other jobs. We're going to grow together. I'm going to help you as a head coach. You're going to help me as a position coach. And he continued to give me titles, and I just said, look, I'm going to be loyal to you. Even when other schools came calling, NFL teams came calling, I just thought it was the right fit with him. And then obviously he got the Florida State job, and and that possibly go with him, but obviously Memphis worked out.
I think a lot of coaches are pay attention to detail when it comes to on the field. You also seem to pay a lot of attention to details of things that are off the field, but still have a lot to do with the preparation. Heard you talking yesterday about measuring the amount of steps that your players take from the parking lot to go get a meal. But these all accumulate. Where did you develop this attention to detail?
Yeah, I think just over the years, I've realized that, to be a good football coach, it can't just be, especially as a head coach, you just can't focus on scheme. And this job at Arkansas requires not just to be good at scheme, but so many other things. And that's why I thought it was a perfect fit. Everybody said, Ryan, why Arkansas at this time? And because I was like, this is a program that needs that attention to detail. And I'm a firm believer, how you do anything is how you do everything. So the attention to detail, whether it's the steps, right, the famous story of my first 24 hours on campus when I said something about the light bulbs being too dim, and they're like, what are you talking about? This is the way it's always been, and I hate that answer. Listen, I give all that credit to people, I guess, that I was around that were paying attention to detail. And I tell everyone in our program, I don't care if you're a grad assistant, you're the janitor, you're the defensive coordinator, pretend like this is your program and you're the head coach at the University of Arkansas for 10 years. And have that same attention to detail, whether it's a piece of trash on it, right? Hey, that thing looks off, or hey, this kid was 2 seconds late. I know no one else saw him, but this is something. And I think that attention to detail, if everybody's on it and feels like it's their responsibility to be on top of it, at least the successful programs, and I've been a long believer of that, even as an assistant.
Talking to Ryan Silverfield, there's a point now, Coach, I think we're getting there where people will recognize your voice, and I don't have to reintroduce you, but I like to do it just to be safe. I was curious about, and you alluded to your time there and here, and I'm curious about the camps and what are some of the similarities, I guess, the way you operate now and versus what you did at Memphis, and how similar the camps have been for you?
Yeah, there are going to be similarities, I think, right? Obviously, you lean on the success you had, but you always are learning. I believe you got to grow every single year, every single day, and as a head coach, there's some things that we did at Memphis that were really good, some things I would have fixed and got corrected, and then bring them here. Now, obviously, differences of different things, right? Whether it be field layout, class schedule, right? We had the quickest training camp in college football in the SEC this year because the class schedule started earlier in Fayetteville. And so I think as you go about those things, you just try to plan it, map it, and realizing that every single day is a teaching day, right? I was with our staff this morning in meetings saying, okay, hey, when we go to this Wednesday practice in season, this is what it looks like, and it's reteaching. Obviously, it's a little bit different, hopefully next year, right, when maybe people recognize my voice, no different than the staff recognizing this is what practice needs to look like. So some similarities, obviously continue to tweak things, see what we can do. We are now doing morning practices for the most part in Northwest Arkansas, which is something that I've been told the university hadn't done, and I think it's beneficial for the players to get them in, feed them, kind of get them, their day starts with football, and then ultimately bring it back at night just to continue to study the game film.
When do you start doing game install? And I guess some people will think your game install is for Utah, not for North Alabama, but we don't believe in that. So what are you guys doing as far as focus on your first game and getting ready for this first couple?
You're exactly right. Everybody wants to talk about the next games and, hey, the home open, the SEC Open. Listen, if you don't handle your first one, it'll be a hell of a long season. So our focus will start to turn towards North Alabama. They actually play this Saturday, so they're gonna we'll have some game film. You don't want to chase ghosts, right? You want to study a little bit of what they did last year. There's some new coordinators, so you got to be careful with that. But ultimately, okay, so much of us still working on our own, especially with a shortened training camp. Okay, we still got to work on this. We still got to work on this situation. We still got to cover this and that. And so our focus will turn to them a little bit this week as we game plan. Obviously, we'll certainly not take them lightly. I mean, it's the first opponent. There's going to be a lot of things that we've got to be able to put in place. But to handle ourselves this week and then truly complete focus on North Alabama come Sunday morning.
You've got a new roster. I mean, again, you're in a new situation here, but these teams, whether it's a new coach or not, I mean, there's such overhaul now. How do you prepare, or how will you prepare going forward with these teams being overhauled every year, especially when you factor in a new head coach?
Yeah, I think you got to be mindful of, hey, where did they come from? And you can get so caught up in, hey, I want to watch what they did last year. I want to see what happened over here. But just ultimately, as you're going week by week, just studying what happened recently, right? Mm-hmm. Without obviously having an understanding, hey, what trick plays have they run in the past? What formations have they done? What are the unique blitzes they've shown? So you got to be careful and make sure you're looking into all of those things. But you're exactly right. I mean, it's all new for everybody and every single year. And so you can no longer sit here and say, well, this is the way this team's been, or this is the way this conference has been. Because like we said, it changes yearly, clearly.
Mm-hmm. I feel like, yeah, it's a new team, but when you're looking at the personnel that you put together and who may end up getting playing time, it feels like everybody's got something to prove. Like they didn't quite crack the rotation where they were before, or they were productive at FCS or Group of Five coming up to the S. It feels like, I don't know, like hunger is something that I feel could define your team.
Well, I love that. And that's someone asked me the SEC Media Day, like, how do you feel being doubted? Great, been doubted my whole life, and I think a lot of our players have that same feeling. The chip on the shoulder mentality, right? The blue collar, hey, we're going to go out and prove to everybody who we are. But I also don't think we, myself included, need the motivation. It's just going out there with the discipline to go be your absolute best. And that may sound corny or like coach speak. That's the reality of it. But maybe we do play pissed off. Maybe we do play with a chip on our shoulder. Maybe we do say, okay, hey, you know what? I am hungry. We do need to prove it, not only to everybody else, but to ourselves, that we are so capable of having success in this conference. And that's okay, because whatever it takes every single day to line up, especially with, out here in the heat that we've had a little bit and pushing and fighting every single day. But that mentality, whatever it takes in between those white lines, yeah, I believe we have a team full of those guys, and I'm great with that.
You named your starter yesterday, Coach. What separated KJ, and what are the best things in your mind about his game?
Yeah, listen, the good news is both quarterbacks are capable.
Yeah.
It's always bad like we went with him because he had cooler shoes. No, we went with the dude that we thought they were both capable, but we went with the guy in KJ that we thought maybe gave us the best opportunity to win week in and week out. They're both fantastic. KJ's leadership was there. His accuracy, his understanding of our playbook in short term. His determination to do those things. I think when the jersey comes off, right now he's protected. We have not taken him live. I think he adds a different dynamic, right? The ability. We're not going to run our quarterbacks all the time. Certainly not as much as Talon did last year. Obviously, if the pocket breaks down or there's something involved in that, we will. And then I think what you got to see is, and I talk about this all the time, probably more so than I've heard they did in the past, is situational football. Right, so many of the games are run the 2 minute before halftime, right? The 2 minutes, 4 minutes before the end of the game, right? Putting us in the right thing. Hey, third down, what's the blitz check need to look like? First and 10, right? Hey, is this the right run check? Do we need to move over here? Do we need to? And that understanding, I think, ultimately is what separated him, and couldn't be more thrilled that he's our quarterback.
Camp results are always a little funny. We've been talking about, kind of the balancing of, hey, the offense is making plays, well, that means the defense gave it up. Vice versa, right? So, two things. How do you gauge that? And then also, are we doing better at OTB or TTB?
There you go. I love it. Well, first off, the fact that you know that's guess what? Now I got to be a constant guest on this station. But, listen, so for the fans, OTB is own the ball. TTB and nicer terms means take the ball.
Yes.
And so you're exactly right. Like, as a head coach, you want to see ball security. You want to see all those things. You want to see quarterbacks making great decisions. But you love it when the defense goes and makes good plays. I always say this. Like, if the defense is going to go make a good play on the ball as an interception or maybe knocking out, let it be a teachable moment, right? Hey, the guy let go of this, or his hand went down in this, right? You just don't want to see carelessness by the offensive guys doing that. And no different, right? I don't want to see the offense go and throwing the ball over our defense's heads, 50 times a practice. That's not good for anybody. Right, and then ultimately, right, you don't want to see the offense go out there and can't get anything done because the defense is just stuffing them. So it's that good back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Some days you're going to sit there and say, man, the defense really had a good day here. Sometimes the offense. And sometimes, okay, hey, did this player step up where we can see him working with this unit, or this guy doing this? And then putting all those pieces together, ultimately you want to have success on both sides of the ball throughout the day.
You're a seed planter, Coach. I can hear in how you're talking. You plant the seed becomes a thought, the thought becomes a habit, hopefully. How much of coaching is planting the seed to train thinking?
Yeah, listen, I'm dealing with 18 to 23-year-olds. They're no different than us, right? Like, we are ultimately products of our environment. And so when I do talk to the guys, often it's just short and sweet, and sometimes it's really hard, and sometimes it's choice language, and other times it's, hey, let me talk to you about this, and this is why, and then ultimately planting that seed. Because we need them to not only have success on this Monday, this off day, with what they're doing with their bodies, what they're doing academically, but then ultimately for tomorrow morning's practice. And then sometimes that message needs to go, hey, I need you to carry this all the way through. They ask us to stop playing football, right? Hopefully through December, January, however long we get to play football together this year. And so I think a lot of that is, right? My job is turned into more of a CEO-like, and part of that is messaging, the way we go about it. Not a whole lot of coach speak with me. I think we go alluding to what we talked about when we first got on, just being transparent and straightforward. And I think a lot of the guys that we deal with on a day-to-day basis appreciate that.
Last thing I was going to ask you about, they're all your guys, but is there any particular position group that has stood out to you as like, damn, these guys are a little better than I thought they were going to be?
Yeah, they are all our guys, and love every single one of them. But, and I'm not just saying this. I've been pleased with what the offensive line's been able to do. I think they're just doing things at a steady manner. Sometimes you worry about the camaraderie, them coming together. I've been pleased with that. And then, our linebackers, I've been really bragging. Bradley Shaw, who played for the Razorbacks last year, and some people say, well, maybe not. I've been really quite pleased with him. And Quay Smith, those two are probably going to be our starting linebackers. And I think they're doing some things at a really, really high level that I've been excited about. Their leadership, the way they work and complement one another.
Okay. I think we need to let you go. I appreciate you coming over, and best of luck this season, Coach.
Appreciate you. Thank you guys for having me on.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Go Hawks.
Enjoyed it.
All right. That's Ryan Silverfield. Good stuff there. We will thank you. We're going to carry his
very much.
conversation to the Touchdown Club as well, of course, coming up in the 12 o'clock hour. Let's see if Baz can ask some good questions. You see his belt? Got a little Razorback belt. I like that.
Oh, good. I need one of those.
Hop in there, Scott. Hop in. Yeah, we'll get Scott Davis. I don't know if he could hear any of that, but we'll see if our buddy from Arkansas Spine and Pain.
I feel like you could end up sitting talking coaching and philosophy and football with him for a long time.
Now he talks fast, but he's also relaxed. It's an interesting combination.
You got to focus on listening.
Like Scott Davis, he's also he's a relaxed guy too. So no point getting wound up.
No point getting wound up.
How are you?
I'm great. Excited.
Yeah,
for,
we are too.
A new football season with Coach, and I was going to try to get my picture there real quick.
Well, you can go get your picture with him. You can come back. That's fine. Yeah, go do your thing. I don't want you to miss out on that. Yeah, he's great. I mean, he's going to be easy to root for. We'll see what the results are, but there's a lot to be excited about this season for sure. So I'm pretty excited.
I'm excited about it too. I mean, look, I liked Sam. I liked Sam a lot. I'm very intrigued by Ryan Silverfield in his track record. In the attention to detail really does stick out to me. Mm-hmm. I think he's a quick thinker on his feet.
Yeah,
and I'm looking forward to seeing how that aspect of what I think I see plays out on game day.
All right, you got your picture?
I did. I've got a little man crush on Silverfield because he was a
Memphis guy. That's
right.
He
was in Memphis.
I forgot about that. That's right.
I was like really, really excited. I was both happy and sad when he left.
Yeah.
Because I knew he was coming here.
Yeah, that'd be like if Matt Campbell left Iowa State and came here. I would have felt the same way. So I feel how you feel. Yeah. I get it.
Couldn't engineer that one though.
No, he had to go to Penn State. That's fine. He's gonna have some resources there that you wouldn't have at a lot of places. So that's good. How you feel about the season in general going into it? I mean, are you excited about football this year? What's Memphis going to have?
Well, I think we got a new coach, and I don't know. I mean, we didn't get ranked very high in the American, which I mean, it's lower level conference anyway. But I feel good. I think we'll get 5, 6, 7 wins.
Okay,
I think.
I hope if Arkansas gets 6 or 7 wins, they may build a statue for Ryan Silverfield. So we'll see.
I think so.
Yeah.
But I feel good about Arkansas because I know his philosophy. He came and spoke at the Rotary Club back in March, and it was very, very exciting. I think he's got the right. Hopefully, he's got the players with the right attitude.
I hope so.
Because if you think you can win, you have a better chance of winning.
Well, if you think you can't win, you definitely won't.
You definitely won't. Let's go there.
What's happening with Arkansas Spine and Pain?
We are still very busy, and we probably the biggest thing we've got going on now is we're starting to offer ortho spine minimally invasive surgery, and so we've changed our motto to we're not your ordinary pain clinic because of what we do is advanced interventional therapy. So we don't manage pain, we treat pain. We find the source and we treat it. So that will be our focus as we keep coming back throughout the year, talking about the different interventional stuff that we do. And we do the normal stuff. We do injections and we do ablations and those kind of things, but really going to focus on the advanced therapies that we offer.
How about you guys have multiple locations?
We have 6 locations. We're in Little Rock, Conway, Benton, Searcy, Whitehall, and Jacksonville, and then we have our surgery center here in Little Rock as well.
Okay.
But we are looking at other locations to expand to.
All right.
Yeah.
Outside the state or within the borders?
Within the borders.
Okay.
For now.
How many years have you been sponsoring here at the Touchdown Club?
This is our 2nd year doing this, so we were very excited to get this spot last year. And but obviously I've been involved with the Touchdown Club for a long time and enjoy this. This is like it's every season. We maybe we didn't have the best season at the end of the year, and then we forget about it, and then we start over.
Yes.
And so, but it's a new beginning.
That's exactly right.
It is. And it truly is a new beginning with a new coach.
I feel like we're going to be hearing a hog call pretty soon.
I hope so. If there's not one, I'm going to be very disappointed. How do people get a hold of Arkansas Spine and Pain, Scott?
Well, obviously our website, www.arkansasspineandpain.com, or you can reach us by phone, 501-227-0184. We do require primary care referrals, and we do work with a lot of primary care physicians. So, be sure to ask your primary care physician to send you to Arkansas Spine and Pain.
Absolutely. Well, we'll look forward to hanging out more this year. Maybe we can chat about what you guys are doing on the golf course sometimes too. I mean, that'd be fine.
Yeah,
it's been too long.
We should try that.
Yeah, be good. Phil can drive the cart, and
pass out drinks.
You could be the judge. Like if there's a, you could be like the rules official.
You really don't want me to be the judge at a golf tournament or a golf outing?
It depends if you're going to rule for me or not. That's the question. So
keep it fair. Keep it fair.
Keep it fair. Keep it fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we'll definitely have some good time to chat. I'm sure we'll get a chance to get some of the docs on here as we go through the year as well. But man, thanks again for the sponsorship, and we love being out here. Obviously, can't do it without you guys. So thanks for making it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. We're proud to be sponsors and glad to be here. And
thanks for the candy too.
Yeah, there you go. Just help yourself.
Yeah, Chuck was over there smashing peanut butter cups. How do you do? Yeah, so many.
He is sugared up right now. He's good to go.
I don't want to eat the peanut butter cup around you. I've got a specific way to eat it, and you'll make fun of me.
Do you eat all the way around it?
At what point are you going to quit caring what I think? Should be right about now.
Obviously, I just set myself up to have to do it anyway.
I can't get past giving him hell over ketchup on his hot dog.
I don't just put ketchup on it. There are other things that go on the hot dog.
Okay, let's hear about your technique with this peanut butter cup, Phil.
Well, you just eat all the chocolate around the peanut butter, and then you eat the peanut butter.
I don't even think that's weird, honestly. I've done that before.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Well,
how do you eat Oreos?
It depends on how I'm feeling that day. I mean, I can dunk the whole thing, or I can just go, layer by layer.
Do you split it apart and lick it grossly, lick all the frosting out, and then eat the cookie?
That's what you got teeth for, to scoop it out.
Okay, you got to do that without other people around. That's a private behavior.
You should watch me eat a Kit Kat, eat all the little chocolate around the wafers, and then go one wafer at a time.
I've actually done that too.
That's meticulous.
I just don't eat candy very much anymore.
Meticulous.
Yeah. I thought it's I don't know. You're quite the wordsmith. I thought that was a new word.
Meticulous.
I'm really not sure we have anything to treat that at our clinic. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
Weirdness.
Yeah, eating chocolate won't fix your spine or your pain, but you know what? It'll make you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same thing, too, again, etiquette-wise. If you're going to lick an Oreo, do it in private. I was at the gym today. This guy shows up in slides. I mean, no socks. He's got his stupid toes out there. I'm like, dude, first of all, that's not even that seems inappropriate in the gym.
That also seems a little... maybe dangerous.
He was doing leg presses. I'm like, you got your big dumb dogs up there pushing the leg. Go get some tennis shoes on, you goof.
Did he at least clip his toenails before he showed up?
I didn't look that closely, but I'm like, I did a double take. I was like, this dude has slides on in the gym working out. I'm like, I appreciate the fact that he's there, but I'm like, it ain't leg day for you, bro. You can do leg day tomorrow with some shoes on. What are we doing?
I will always wear shoes when I'm sitting next to you.
Yeah, it's just... Anyway, whatever.
It's not the best.
No, it's not a good look. All right, 11:48. Gosh, this day is going so fast. We are going to take a time out. We got some texts from our friends at Middleton Heat and Air, and we have game balls and jock straps after the break. Thanks to our friends at Acadi's Touch. Scott, thank you. I'm going to run to this room over here that's 20 degrees warmer and warm up. By the way, if you're coming to the Touchdown Club this year and you're hanging out anywhere close to us, bring a parka. Damn.
Pain has changed, so has the treatment. Arkansas Spine and Pain isn't your ordinary pain clinic. Advanced interventional therapies can give patients like you options that go far beyond simply managing your pain. Their specialists work to identify the source of your pain and develop a treatment pathway designed to reduce pain, restore function, and get you back to living. Instead of just managing the pain, treat the pain. Arkansas Spine and Pain, not your ordinary pain clinic. Advanced treatments, better options, ASAP.
Make Jim's Razorback Pizza your game day headquarters. Known for their amazing thin crust and Detroit-style deep dish pizzas, but don't pass up on their wings that were voted the best by AY Magazine. If you're looking for a great place to watch the game and the most accommodating service around, visit Jim's Razorback Pizza at Highway 10 just past Taylor Loop and the second location at the Morgan Maumelle exit. Jim's Razorback Pizza, proudly serving Central Arkansas for over 20 years.
Orange is not your color, and stripes are for zebras. It's criminal not to hire Lion Legal. There's no one better to protect your pride than our pride of League Alliance. When in war, you need the roar. For exceptional communication and exceptional results in all criminal-related legal matters, hire Lion Legal to come roaring to the rescue.
Willie D's Dueling Pianos has not moved yet. They're still rocking right here in the Little Rock River Market. Dueling Pianos upstairs, DJs downstairs with food and drinks every week. Reserve and learn more at WillieD'sPianoBar.com.
Come and get your Willie on.
You knew the risks when you decided to drive drunk. There could be a crash. People could get hurt or killed. But that didn't stop you, did it? You knew you could get arrested. You could incur huge legal expenses, and you could possibly even lose your job. You were well aware of the consequences of driving drunk. But one thing's for sure. You were wrong when you said it was no big deal. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Paid for by the Arkansas Highway Safety Office.
Powers Truck Parts and Service in North Little Rock is hiring diesel technicians. If you have your own tools, an understanding of diesel systems, and enjoy working as part of a team, they want to hear from you. Offering up to $45 per hour or more. A 401k, working Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. Powers Truck Parts and Service, a family-owned company with a reputation for quality service and over 80 years of combined experience. Contact Chad Powers at powerstruckparts.com. powerstruckparts.com.
Razorback legend Darren McFadden joins Morning Mayhem on 103.7 The Buzz each week this football season to give his insights on what's happening in the world of football. DMAC is brought to you by the Hatcher Agency, home of outrageous service.
Welcome back to The Zone, live from the Oaklawn Hot Springs studio with your hosts, Justin Acri and Phil Elson.
They're entertainers.
They're also heroes.
Those guys are ballers, Joe.
On the Buzz Radio Network. Game balls and jock straps are brought to you by A Caddy's Touch Landscape. Josh Dickinson is a former PGA caddy, so he knows what good grass looks like. If you'd like to take your yard to the next level, then hit up Josh and his crew at A Caddy's Touch Landscape. 501-794-2770. Call today.
All right, I'm going to give game balls to the guys who performed well this weekend on the PGA Tour, including Wyndham Clark, who won this weekend up in St. Louis, and I don't really care for him a whole lot, and a lot of people don't, and that's okay. But he is now third in the standings. Scheffler also gets a game ball, even though he didn't play particularly well. Apparently he has, what's that thing called, like foot
and mouth?
Foot and hand and mouth and hoof
mouth.
disease. Hand, foot, mouth. Anyway, he's got the deal, and he played with it this week, and apparently he had, like, swelling, and he had some sores and all kinds of things he was dealing with. But, you know, I saw somebody's like, we got to get PGA health reports before, like, they should have, like, a health deal, like a release, like, questionable, doubtful. He's like, you know, if I wasn't so hard-headed, I probably wouldn't have played.
Yeah, we started that in college sports a couple years ago, the availability report.
Yeah, they should have, are you healthy? Do you have a bad back? Are you playing with a hamstring issue? Do you have an ankle?
Do you have hand, foot, and mouth?
Did you forget your 6-iron at the hotel? I need to know all these things. Anyway, he leads the standings going into the Tour Championship, which is coming up this weekend. Matt Fitzpatrick, Wyndham Clark, Cam Young, Siwoo Kim round out the 5. Chris Gotterup had a nice weekend. He's 6. Morikawa did as well. And then, you know, there's a handful of guys that just missed out, including Ricky Fowler and JT Poston, who were just on the outside looking in, as were a lot of other guys. But, yeah, it should be fun. Excited about it. And Gary Woodland gets a game ball, too. He's been through a lot, and he's hanging in there. He had a good tournament this weekend. And he's got this deal where, like, anything that's a distraction is, like, particularly upsetting to him. Like, he perceives it as a threat. I know he's had some brain surgeries and some different issues, but he's got PTSD and all sorts of issues. So, anyway, he's every day is a miracle. Every round is a pretty impressive performance by him, just about.
All right, I got a game ball. Goes to the first 79 pitches of Cade Anderson's Major League debut, the former Arkansas Traveler. Until the 6th inning, had allowed only 1 run on 3 base hits, but then his last 2 pitches ended up home runs. So I guess the 80th and 81st pitches would get jock straps. The first 79 can get a game ball. Also a game ball to Carl Ravitch. I thought we were going to play something for Carl Ravitch.
I got you.
Yep, go ahead.
Want to show loss. Want to say a special thanks to Andy Jacobson, our producer for years, who has helped carry me through this. Buster Olney, of course, as good a reporter as there's ever been covering baseball. You too, my friend Eduardo Perez, Ivan Salkowski, my good buddy Lisa, Sarah Langs, who's hanging out behind these scenes and getting the job done. Our executive producer, my man Scott Gustafson, and everybody else who's made it possible. Thanks for watching the MLB Little League Classic. For Eduardo, Buster, I'm Carl Ravitch. Right now, it is time for SportsCenter.
No one ever did it better than Ravi, an absolute first-time Hall of Fame SportsCenter anchor.
Classy way for him to go out, call his last Major League game for ESPN at the Little League World Classic yesterday. And I hate for jockstrap for ESPN for letting him go. There just aren't as many voices that baseball fans are as familiar with as Ravitch from the last 30 years, at least on national telecasts. Also, the Cleveland Browns get a jockstrap because it really doesn't matter who the owner is or what stadium they call home or what suburb they move to. The Browns will always be the Browns when it comes to quarterbacks and just being a football team.
Not brown, but orange, which is the Cleveland Browns color. Jed York was wearing some orange because he got busted in a prostitution ring, the Niners owner, and he's alleged to have engaged in prostitution. I'm assuming he didn't sell himself, but he was paying for it. We were talking about things that have gone up and down in price, and I was talking about drugs, and I wondered about prostitution. I don't know what the going rates are these days, but Jed York may have a feeling on it. Also, a game ball to the guy who reported this on Twitter. His name is Ben Horney. I'm not making that up.
Yes, you are.
Horney.
Oh, at least it's spelled that way.
It's absolutely a fantastic twist to this story that Ben Horney is reporting on Jed York chasing prostitutes, so allegedly. Anyway, and those are my game balls and jockstraps for this week. What do you got, Moose?
Gonna give a game ball to Caitlin Clark. She went for 37 the other night and hit 8 threes. They have clinched the playoffs. Also, Angel Reese went for 31, and they got Atlanta clinched as well. And then in the MLB, well, I'm not watching that much or anything, paying attention to it, but it is cool to see, the big names that are supposed to be changing the league are doing just that. In the MLB, I got a jockstrap for all of the AL West. Leading team in the division is the Astros, and they are one game under 500. And as a division, I don't have the number in front of me, but as a division, they will be on pace to have the lowest win percentage for an entire division of all time.
So they are now tied with the Rangers for first at 65 and 66. And
I have trouble using the term first.
The Mariners are close behind, 3 games back, 62 and 69. We'll see if Kate Anderson helps make the difference. They did squeak out a couple against the Cubs this weekend, though, and then got beat like a drum yesterday. So, anyway.
We've got to have a division champion with a sub-500 record.
We talked about this recently, didn't we? Yep. I don't think it's ever happened, and this would be the first one.
Will be.
All right, we're up against it. Hour 3 coming up. A lot more Ryan Silverfield with a smattering of David Basil and a whole lot more. Stick around.
Hello, this is Justin Acri. When joint pain or an injury slows you down, turn to UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Arkansas's largest orthopedic team and the state's most fellowship-trained surgeons offer expert care for sports injuries and problems affecting the hip, knee, shoulder, spine, hand, foot, ankle, and more. Care is easy to access at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital and a new location on Rodney Parham in Little Rock, next to UAMS Health Urology Center. For walk-in care, choose UAMS Ortho now. Call 501-686-TOSH. When you think ortho, think UAMS.
Hey guys, Heath Boothby here, Crane Hyundai of Little Rock. We have the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event going on right now. 0% interest on all Tucsons, 0% interest on all Santa Fe's, and 90 days no payments, as well as huge discounts on everything else on the lot, including Palisade, Elantra, you name it. All this happening right now. Crane Hyundai of Little Rock, Hyundai Getaway Sales Event off Colonel Glenn. Come see us.
Fence Brokers presents Razorback Graffiti every Monday with Morning Mayhem. One sentence to let the guys know how you feel about the Razorbacks. From Fence Brokers, going the extra mile.
1037 The Buzz.
You know how I am. You guys know how I am. I don't forget anything.
Crushing all the competition.
So you can take that to the bank.
The large wildfire in Union County is all but contained this morning. County Judge Mike Laughlin announced on social media yesterday that it was 98% under control at noon. The state's wildfire dashboard shows it's burned more than 2,300 acres. It also reports it was due to a natural cause, but unclear exactly how it started. The Arkansas Department of Agriculture says the fire endangered about 10 homes and forced around 25 people to evacuate. Fire officials are monitoring the area to make sure the fire does not flare up. And Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders has declared a state of emergency due to the wildfires from Thursday. The Department of Agriculture's dashboard shows nearly 1,200 wildfires so far in 2026 that have burned more than 30,000 acres. $250,000 from the governor's disaster response and recovery fund will be used by the Division of Emergency Management. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm Kara Case, Jessica Rockwell.
Benihana Special, $5. Your choice, sushi rolls and chicken fried rice, $5. Come see us at Benihana Bar Monday through Wednesday, lunch and dinner.
With KARK's Pat Walker.
It's a 60% chance of rain and thunderstorms this morning. Rain chances will be much lower this afternoon, but having the rain in the morning hours and generally staying cloudy to mostly cloudy today, it's going to keep that temperature down. We're only expecting a high of 88 today. Tonight we'll drop down to 73 with a 20% chance of showers overnight. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Pat Walker.
I'm Laura Landro, CEO of Entergy Arkansas, and we have a plan for our growing state. We're building new, more fuel-efficient power plants to keep up with your energy needs. We're reducing outages, and we're ensuring Arkansas has the power it needs to help attract new industry and better jobs, all while keeping rates below the national average. Like most Entergy employees, I'm from here, and we're committed to creating a brighter Arkansas today and for the next generation.
60/40. What does that mean to you? Well, if you're shopping at Lazy Boy of Little Rock, it means 40% off everything in the store. For every $100, you only spend $60. You work hard for your money. Now make your money go farther with Lazy Boy of Little Rock's Labor Day sale. 40% off across the store, upstairs, downstairs. Recliners, sofas, sectionals, tables, floor coverings, and accessories. 40% off at Lazy Boy of Little Rock's Labor Day sale. 1000 South Shackelford Road. Long live the lazy.
It's Justin Acri with Laura Beth from Kaufman by Design West, where we always talk about getting everything you need for your home, but they also are your one-stop shop for tailgating. We are so happy football's back, Laura Beth, and Kaufman by Design West has just what you need.
Yeah, we do. We have smokers, coolers, grills, and even solo stoves for all those chilly game days.
So if you want to stock up and get ready for your favorite tailgate, get out to Kaufman by Design West. It's out west past Taylor Loop, 14900 Cantrell Road. You can find out more about all the things they have to offer at kaufmanlumber.com.
When you're vacationing in your RV, there are some things you can always count on. Quality time with the family, watching for shooting stars, and your cousin's need to take a photo of everything.
Scooch closer to the grill. You're out of the shot.
I love the light in here.
Mark, you're blinking again. I'm not moving. You guys have to move.
This one's blurry.
Wait, don't take a bite of the corn. I want to get a pic.
With Progressive, your RV is protected 24/7, so you're prepared for whatever you don't see coming.
I'm just taking a picture of the grill. Thank you.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Accounts subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Progressive knows that for business owners, vacations hit different. But hey, at least you finally took a vacation. And look at that. You only answered 53 calls, 84 emails, onboarded one new hire, and covered for Chris while he's out on paternity leave, and you did it all from a kayak. Because you, my friend, know how to relax. All right, you may not know how to take a day off, but you do know both your personal and business auto insurance needs can be covered in one place with Progressive. So at least that's relaxing, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
At Greenway Equipment, there's a face behind every handshake, a name behind every counter, and a set of hands that knows John Deere equipment the way you know your land. Greenway has spent years building something that won't show up on a spec sheet. A team that takes your work personally, that knows trust is grown, not given. So when you call, Greenway answers. Visit a location today or online at gogreenway.com.
Car wreck? Call Rainwater Holt in Sexton.
888-8888.
8 for a fast response. 8 for results. 8 for Arkansas.
Anywhere in the state, dial 8.
888-8888.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
Good news, your next luxury getaway is only a short drive away. At Oaklawn Hot Springs, stay in a Forbes recommended resort hotel. Unwind at Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa. And make dinner a destination at 2 Forbes recommended restaurants, the Bugler and the Oak Room and Bar. Add a 24/7 smoke-free casino, live entertainment, and all the thrills that make Oaklawn Hot Springs a premier resort destination. Join the fun. Plan your stay at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You're in the zone. Arkansas's longest-running midday sports talk show. Coming to you live from the Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Studio. Oaklawn, Arkansas's only casino resort.
20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name.
With your hosts, Justin Acri and Phil Elson on the Buzz Radio Network.
Feel so unlike everybody else, alone in spite of
The Zone is live from the Little Rock Touchdown Club. Brought to you by Arkansas Spine and Pain. Justin and Phil will bring you the show each week from the DoubleTree downtown with interviews from each speaker and their comments to the club live. It's The Zone on location at the Little Rock Touchdown Club. Brought to you by Arkansas Spine and Pain. Find them at arkansasspineandpain.com.
Yeah, do that. All right, we are here at the Touchdown Club.
We also do the...
See, Basil sounds great, but we're not ready yet. Coach Silverfield's here. We had a really nice visit with him earlier. And I'm looking forward to hearing more from him this season. Hopefully talking about a lot of wins, but we'll see. 12:07, thanks for being with us. We need to knock out entertainment birthdays real quick, and then we're going to hit the break early, Moose, and then get back for Coach Silverfield's visit.
Today's entertainment report is brought to you by Bell & Sword Gentlemen's Clothing in Conway. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram or stop by Bell & Sword's new and larger location at 1011 Oak Street.
I did not go, but I did venture downtown on Saturday. And just across the river from us, they packed the house at Simmons Bank Arena for Ella Langley's show. Well, Ella Langley was there, so were a lot of other people, including one very famous Canadian. Moose was at the show. No, Drake was at the show, which is one of the weirdest things I could have ever imagined. Of all the places for Drake to go see Ella Langley, he came to North Little Rock, Arkansas.
That's what we said. That's
watch
wild.
the video of his jumbo jet landing at the airport.
Is it jumbo?
It was jumbo.
737 coming out of the sky. Yeah. Take him down to Memphis on a midnight ride. You want to move?
Well, 2 hours west of Memphis.
Okay. Moose, what were you saying?
Yeah, we were wondering why he chose Little Rock of all places as well. Why you could see her? She's on tour, right? Like you could go anywhere.
Well, now the people are going. Is there something going on here?
Well, the age of consent in Arkansas is 16, so maybe that's why Drake did it.
Wow.
Oh goodness. Wow. How old is Ella Langley?
She's way older, 16. I think he's talking about everybody else. Wow, that's entirely possible. Sadly. All right. Let's do birthdays. We're going to move on. Sorry I missed Ella Langley's show. Heard it was great, but a lot of people had a great time there.
We saw all the boots and denim walking around downtown. That's for sure.
God, no doubt. We went to dinner in North Little Rock and stopped at Flyway first and had a beer, and it was jam packed with little cowgirls and cowboys. One other thing, real quick, and I haven't gone to see it yet. Has anybody seen New Spider-Man?
I haven't.
I have.
My kids have. They love it.
Okay,
it's great.
Okay, good. We're gonna go see it next weekend.
I saw End of Oak Street.
Okay.
It was surprisingly good. I guess
I heard it was good.
Yeah, I went in kind of blind, and knew very loosely
How'd you see
what would happen. Just kind of blind. Very loosely knew what was going to happen, or at least what the plot idea was, but it kind of it caught me off guard on what exactly all happened, but it's really interesting. I enjoyed it.
Moose goes to the movies like he sleeps, just like the Metallica song. With one eye open, and he grips his pillow tight. Yeah. All right.
They said, "Let me have a pillow in there."
You can't bring a pillow into the movie theater.
You 100% can bring a pillow in the movie theater.
You can?
Of course.
I never tried.
Could sneak
I guess you can
snacks
bring a
into
blanket.
You just
Why
can't
not?
bring your own box of M&Ms, you cheapskate.
You can bring M&Ms in the blanket.
Exactly.
Theoretically.
I'm not advocating for this.
You could also put soap in there, and then if anybody gets on their phone during the show, you can beat them with it like
Full
Code
Metal
Red.
Jacket.
Yeah, give them a Code Red. Not Full Metal Jacket, but what was the Tom Cruise movie? Oh my God, what was it?
They did do that in Full Metal Jacket. Didn't
They did that to
Soap?
Private Pile.
You're right, they
Full
did.
Metal Jacket.
But I was also thinking about soap. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you're right, because they didn't. Yeah, we never saw the guy get abused in All the Right, or not All the Right Moves.
Few Good Men.
Few Good Men. Yes.
You just heard about it.
Yeah, that's right.
You're
They
actually-
stuffed a sock in his mouth.
Yeah. I watched Full Metal Jacket over the weekend.
You're
so
so
I
right.
remember this.
I just saw a reel about that too. So, it was who was talking about this? I don't know. Anyway, well, I tell you what, is it R. Lee Ermey? Was that his name was?
Yes,
That
that's the
dude.
drill sergeant.
Yeah, he's amazing.
It's
Amazing.
30 of the greatest movie minutes ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Spider-Man Brand New Day claimed its fourth consecutive box office victory. $39 million over the weekend to reach $2.22 billion globally. Now the sixth highest grossing film in history, surpassing Star Wars The Force Awakens. Domestically, it hit $854.9 million. Horror sequel Insidious, Out of the Further, debuted in second place. The Odyssey, third. Paw Patrol, the Dino movie, fourth place. And The End of Oak Street rounded up to 5 with $9 million. Some of that came from Moose's pocket. All right, let's do birthdays quick. Maybe we'll play for pride because we're in a bit of a hurry.
Birthday trivia in the zone is brought to you by Brewski's Pub and Grub. Your home for lunch, happy hour, and late night. With locations in Little Rock and North Little Rock. Come get your grub on.
Today's National Can Opener Day, National Knife Day, Peach Pie Day, National Waffle Day. Quickly, what's the longest running U.S. game show, boys?
Price is Right.
That's right, Phil. Point one. What country did Trick or Treat get used the first time?
Austria.
Moose?
England.
Canada, your beloved
Damn it.
Canada, 1927. On this day in history, Mount Vesuvius erupted and buried 15,000 people.
Vesuvius. 14.
Roman Pompeii and Herculaneum. That's an interesting word. What year?
1625?
1625, Mount Vesuvius? No.
I don't remember, obviously.
1580.
79. You guys are so cute. On this day in history, Thomas Edison patented the motion picture camera. What year? I'm not even keeping score. I'm
Moose?
just doing this for fun.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just throwing numbers out
1905.
there. Before that, 1899.
1891. Good job. After signing a one-day contract with the Niners, Jerry Rice officially retired from the NFL. How many seasons did Jerry Rice play in the NFL, Moose?
18.
17.
21. Isn't that crazy? Not counting the one-day contract with the Niners. 22,895, 1,549 receptions, 208 total touchdowns, which is a NFL record. He's the only person in NFL history with 200 touchdowns. He had one passing touchdown and 197 receiving touchdowns. The rest were rushing.
Okay, so who did he play for before signing this contract? Wasn't there 1 year with the Seahawks?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe that's right.
So I think that's who it must have been. Yeah.
All right, birthdays quickly. This is for fun.
I think
anyway.
he was with the Raiders too when they won that Super Bowl, right? Or went to the Super
Lost-
Bowl, not
lost the
not
Super
won
Bowl,
it,
yeah.
but
Yeah. This woman played Beth in the thriller Fatal Attraction. Her poor bunny got cooked.
Oh, that's Glenn Close.
No, the one that got her bunny cooked, not the one who cooked the bunny.
Oh,
she was also
and
yeah, Clear and Present Danger, Patriot Games.
Ish?
No, Ann Archer is her
Archer.
name. She's 79 years old today. This guy is a sports executive who ran the WWE.
Vince McMahon.
Jim McMahon.
Vince
Not
McMahon,
Vince.
right?
Jim McMahon.
How old, Moose?
Jim McMahon's birthday was Friday last
I'm
week.
literally not even writing scores down.
Vince
How old?
McMahon is like 79.
Vince McMahon is 76. 6.
He's 81. Cal Ripken Jr.'s birthday's today. He's 66. Dave Chappelle's 53. Dave Chappelle should be older than that,
It's
it
a
seems
good
like
birthday
to me.
day.
Yeah, Steve Gutenberg's 68, 3 Men and a Baby.
Mahoney!
The good?
Police Academy, and 68 years old. And Craig Kilborn, your boy, is 63. Reggie Miller, the great pacer, 60. We got to go to break, so let's do that. Chris just sent this in. Is that you, John Wayne? Is this me? Who said that?
I can't go any farther.
Oh, Private Joker. We got a comedian in our midst. Well, that's a good one. All right, I want to mention my friends at Gwatney Chevrolet because, well, they're great. And August is almost up, so take advantage of the deals while you can. What's the day, 24th? Oh, yeah, baby, I like the 24th of August. It's a good one. This is one that even a drill sergeant would appreciate. That's how good the deals are over at Gwatney Chevrolet. You just got to take the short trip to Jacksonville. Okay, and look, we're not going to give you a code red if you don't, but, I mean, it's just kind of, you must be mad at your money if you don't. Anyway, go see our friends over there. High school football is back, and whether you're tailgating or hauling coolers or just hauling people from place to place, Gwatney Chevrolet's got the ride for game day. 2026 Silverado, 0% for 60 months. 0% for 60 months. Or drive home in a brand new Equinox for just $289 a month. Pre-owned vehicles start at $199 a month. And in addition to that being a ridiculous price in 2026, we're talking about, things that have gone down in price. That's way, way too low to believe, but it's real. They're also going to pay your sales tax on pre-owned vehicles. So all you got to do is take the trip over to Jacksonville. It is TP White Drive, 1301 to be exact. But go to GwatneyChevrolet.com for more details and see our friends in Jacksonville. We'd be so happy you did. And Chevrolet, together let's drive at Gwatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville. Go see our friends over there. We're back with Ryan Silverfield. It's 12:16.
If you don't already have the Bet Saracen Sports Wager app, download it today from the app stores or go to BetSaracen.com. Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports betting app.
This is Sports Center.
After a second scrimmage and another practice over the weekend, Arkansas Razorbacks head coach Ryan Silverfield announced that KJ Jackson will be the starting quarterback for the Razorbacks this season.
Ultimately, it came down to the actual situational football. And I believe a quarterback, in order to have success, has to be really efficient in those things. We thought KJ had the slight edge in that, and I think ultimately that's going to give us the best opportunity to have success moving forward.
The players have the day off from practice today, but we will hear more from Coach Silverfield after his speech at the Little Rock Touchdown Club today. I'm Moose for the Buzz Radio Network.
Are you ready for some high school football? Join me Friday night in Heber Springs. We kick off another season of Sonic Blast and grab a limited edition Sonic Blast t-shirt courtesy of Design Labs while they last. The Sonic Blast is presented by Sonic Drive-Ins.
At Greenway Equipment, there's a face behind every handshake, a name behind every counter, and a set of hands that knows John Deere equipment the way you know your land. Greenway has spent years building something that won't show up on a spec sheet. A team that takes your work personally, that knows trust is grown, not given. So when you call, Greenway answers. Visit a location today or online at gogreenway.com.
Hello, this is Justin Acri. When joint pain or an injury slows you down, turn to UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Arkansas's largest orthopedic team and the state's most fellowship-trained surgeons offer expert care for sports injuries and problems affecting the hip, knee, shoulder, spine, hand, foot, ankle, and more. Care is easy to access at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital and a new location on Rodney Parham in Little Rock, next to UAMS Health Urology Center. For walk-in care, choose UAMS Ortho now. Call 501-686-TOSH. When you think ortho, think UAMS.
BKC Home Builders are the premier home builders, providing custom builds and remodels. No matter what size your dream is, BKC will walk you through all the phases, from house plans to landscaping, to make your custom home as beautiful as you imagine. The team at BKC will be with you through the entire process. If you're looking for commercial building or remodeling, BKC has your commercial needs covered as well. BKCHomebuilders.com or find them on Facebook. That's BKC Home Builders in Hot Springs.
We got the big deals.
Steve, we've traded for more vehicles than I've ever seen before during our Make This the Summer Sales event at the Big Lot. Chris Crane, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
We sure have, Terry. We've got dozens of vehicles under $25,000, and we've got payments to fit any budget.
These vehicles are inspected for safety, and our banks love to say yes. So come see us at the Big Lot, Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram, Alcoa Road in Benton, or online at chriscranecars.com.
The Big Lot Benton.
Let's get back to more of the show in the Oaklawn Hot Springs studio with your hosts, Justin Acri and Phil Elson.
Just say it'll be good, man.
It'll be good, man.
On the Buzz Radio Network.
Rex is still yammering. I don't know how much time they're going to leave for Silverfield here, but maybe not much. I don't know. This segment brought to you from the Little Rock Touchdown Club by our friends at Cash, just down the road a piece. And, you know, if you missed out on lunch here, you might swing down there. And if you ate lunch here, you still might want to go to Cash and have some lunch because, well, their food's real great. And it's a great place to be, great space, great place to have a cocktail, and great place to hang out, make some memories with your friends. 501-850-0265 if you have a special event coming up. And it does include, of course, free valet parking for your guests if you're having a special event there. Private dinner, holiday party, wedding function, rehearsals, corporate events. By the way, congratulations to our buddy DJ Williams. He and I have shared more than one meal there over the years. He and his lovely now fiance, Ebony Mitchell, got engaged over the weekend. So I want to congratulate them, and we'll have to go to Cash and celebrate together soon. But it's a great place to have an engagement party or to have a wedding rehearsal or, again, any special event, even for holidays. If you've got things on the horizon here coming up, get Cash on your calendar and make sure you lock in your date ASAP. 501-850-0265. It's CashLittleRock.com, C-A-C-H-E, LittleRock.com for lunch and for dinner. It's a great spot. All right, let's hit some Middleton Heat and Air texts here. Why is it that multiple shows on the Buzz are doing their show on a remote out of the studio? Is there a reason why it's necessary to change the YouTube stream? Yes, it is necessary because we have different sponsors and different faces of like the look is different. And it's got the name of the show and things like that. So, yeah, you do.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this guy's problem is. It's up there. I was just about to text him back. So whoever you are listening and upset about that, it's on YouTube. I'm looking at it right now.
I'll let you deal with him. The craziest Jerry Rice stat to me, this guy says, or gal, he holds the record for receiving yards after age 40, 2,509. Second place is Tom Brady with 6. I don't know if that's true or not, but
I love that one. That reminds me of greatest brother combination for home runs in Major League history is Hank and Tommy Aaron. Hank hit 756. Tommy hit like 7.
Alan Harper took deviled eggs in the movies. We're talking about things you can and can't take in the movies.
You can squish them in a plastic bag and put them in your pocket. Deviled eggs would fit.
From the 501, Justin did an impression of Eddie Vedder singing Enter Sandman. All my singing impressions sound like Eddie Vedder. Jason says, Drake and Coach Cal have some familiarity. Would not be surprised that there was a team visit involved. Okay.
Bet if you tried to do a Dave Matthews singing impression, it would not sound like Eddie Vedder.
From the 501, Drake's plane is a 767, not a 737. Same size as the President's, much bigger than a 737, kind of wild. Yeah, that's a big one. It's nicknamed Air Drake, Jake says. What do you think Drake's net worth is? Obviously enough to have a 767.
Enough to have a giant jumbo jet.
That thing is not cheap. Who is David's surprise guest? I don't know. I didn't hear it. Who is it? October 12th?
Oh, it's Jerry Jones and President Bill Clinton.
Never heard of him. Public service announcement. If you do go and get a lady of the night, know that the going rate is don't be paying $100 over price. You will cause inflation. That's funny. Isn't hand, foot, and mouth disease contagious? Maybe have a little respect for your fellow competitors. Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe he didn't go to the locker room after the round.
He's sharing drinks.
Listen, Scotty playing in a tournament is good for everybody else in the tournament, okay? Except for the people who are trying to win it. If Justin ever has a scandal or controversy, I really hope it turns out he is into feet. It would be comedic genius, no doubt. I'm not as grossed out by feet as Pat Bradley was. That was one of Pat's biggest pet peeves. But I'm also like, you shouldn't be wearing slides or flip-flops in a gym. Especially if you're doing a leg workout. What are you doing, dude? Anyway.
I don't care. I'm okay with, like, seeing toes. That's not weird to me. But barefoot in public, that is wild to me. That I can't get past.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Indoors. That's just so bizarre.
It wasn't that long ago Central Arkansas without season tickets could buy single ticket games tickets from time to time. Try that again. Wasn't long ago that a Central Arkansas fan without season tickets could buy single game tickets from time to time. I guess season tickets being sold to corporations just for their employees to not show has eliminated single game access. Well, you can still buy them on the secondary market. They're not outrageous.
They are. The prices are jacked up from that secondary market. The other thing too is I don't think that this is all corporations. buying up the tickets and giving them to employees. I think these are people who are giving donations. Individual people. I think there's some companies and corporations buying tickets, but these are all not being snapped up by the monolith of the corporations that are going to not send people to the games.
What's the holdup? Y'all keep saying Coach is coming up next. No, Coach. Listen, they're just now standing up to applaud him, so, yeah, it's coming up right now. Let's head inside here at the Little Rock Touchdown Club. Look, the sooner he talks, the better. I don't get paid by the word. I'm fine with sitting back here and listening to him. I assume that's why they're standing.
Sports figure, sports radio guy in the state of Arkansas.
Thank you.
Ready to call the Hogs?
Oh, they're going to call the Hogs. Great. See you in a minute.
Oh, this will bleed into out of bounds potential.
It's just shocking to me that they have not. I mean, of all the days, they were going to start a little late. It's crazy to me. Jackson says weed prices. This is on our live fan feedback brought to you by our friends at Rainbow Restoration. Phil, you're hilarious. Don't act like you don't know that if the prices have gone down. Do you track that kind of thing? You keep an eye on that?
No.
Just for the greater good of the public? It's nice of you, Phil. Thank you.
No, yeah, sure. I'm building an app for this. Yeah, right now at home.
Weedprices.com, and there's an app for that.
But so far, all we figured out is televisions and some laptops are cheaper than they were before. That's it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and have Steve Sullivan formally.
This is unbelievable. Usually I complain to David about, you know what, let's take our second break and then we can just finish out the rest of the show. We'll be back in 3 minutes with Ryan Silverfield. Bye.
Pain has changed, so has the treatment. Arkansas Spine and Pain isn't your ordinary pain clinic. Advanced interventional therapies can give patients like you options that go far beyond simply managing your pain. Their specialists work to identify the source of your pain and develop a treatment pathway designed to reduce pain, restore function, and get you back to living. Instead of just managing the pain, treat the pain. Arkansas Spine and Pain, not your ordinary pain clinic. Advanced treatments, better options, ASAP.
Looking for a lunch spot that's fast, fun, and won't wreck your wallet? Head to Brewski's Pub and Grub with locations in downtown Little Rock and North Little Rock. The Brewski's Babes are serving up ice-cold drinks, smash burgers, loaded fries, wings, wraps, and more. Fast enough for your lunch break and priced right every day of the week. Escape the office and grab lunch with friends. Brewski's, the spot for good vibes, great food, and quick service. Brewski's Downtown and Brewski's North Little Rock open daily at 11. Brewski's, your home for lunch, happy hour, and late night.
Is your yard something you'd like to improve and make better? At A Caddy's Touch Landscaping, they bring precision and craftsmanship to every project, from drain work that protects your property to retaining walls, decks, and fencing built to last. They also install synthetic turf and custom flower beds for low maintenance, year-round beauty. One team done right the first time. Call 501-794-2770. That's 501-794-2770.
Honda of Russellville, proud to celebrate 47 years of serving Arkansas families. Come celebrate with big savings store-wide through September 26th. Register to win a 2026 Honda HR Forest Edition 4Transform and 4x4 with the dependable 518cc engine and long travel suspension, ready for work or the weekend. See why folks from all over Arkansas choose Honda of Russellville. Great prices and hometown service for 47 years. Honda recommends the foreman for riders 16 years and older. Always wear a helmet and take an ATV rider course.
Hi folks, Jeff Peters here at Hagen's Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Morrilton. You know, I hear a lot of dealers advertising that they have the best price or no one can beat their deal and all these big claims, but you and I know we all buy these new cars from the same spot and we pay the same price. We understand it all boils down to you and where you decide to buy a vehicle. I want to invite you out to show you, not tell you, how fun and easy it is to buy with us. So make the short drive to Hagen's Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Morrilton today or check us out online at HagensMotors.com. Welcome to the family.
Hey, it's Randy Rainwater from Drive Time Sports. Join Rick Schaefer and I every afternoon on Arkansas's #1 caller-driven sports show. We'll talk with great guests like Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen, Trey Biddy, Hogsports.com, Kevin Bohannon, and a whole lot more. It's all right here from 4 to 7 on 103.7 The Buzz.
Welcome back to The Zone, live from the Oaklawn Hot Springs studio with your hosts, Justin Acri and Phil Elson.
I'd listen to that on the radio.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
try. Snitches wanna lie, the snitches wonder why. Snitches wanna die. All I know is pain, all I feel is rain. How can I maintain with madness on my brain? I resort to violence, my killers move in silence. Like you don't know what our style is. New York killers are wild. My dogs is with it. You want it?
Car, and he walks in and starts checking it, and he realizes, oh, it's a refrigerator boxcar. And so he goes in and he starts writing down things. As soon as he walks into that boxcar, bam, the door shuts behind him with this refrigerator boxcar. Well, Nick hadn't had any of these doors slam on before, so he immediately goes and tries to open up the door to this boxcar. And it's not opening, and he's sitting there saying, what the hell am I going to do? So he starts banging and banging, and about an hour goes by, and he's, wait a second, this is Friday evening. I don't know if anybody's going to hear me. And a couple hours go by, and Nick's kicking, clawing, going through all the belongings in this refrigerator boxcar. And panic starts to set in. He says, wait a second, it's getting cold in here. A few more hours go by, and Nick's saying, pacing back and forth and just saying, man, it's getting really, really cold in here. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's going to be till Monday, maybe before, if anybody finds me. A few more hours go by, and Nick finds a pencil in the corner of this refrigerator boxcar, and he starts writing on the wall. Nick Stinsman writes the date down, and in his brain, he's like, okay, well, it's probably Saturday morning now. I think I can get through this, 24 more hours, maybe, 36 hours, and then I can get out of this boxcar. They'll come find me. A few more hours later, Nick's on the ground in the middle of this boxcar just shivering. Oh, man, it's getting really cold in here. And he's trying to bundle himself up and find corners, find warmth in this boxcar. A few more hours go by, and Nick's just talking to himself. He crawls over to the side of the wall and writes, to my family, I love you. I may not make it. I may freeze to death. And signs his initials. And next thing you know, the weekend goes by, and it's that Monday morning, and obviously Nick's buddies didn't see him at the pub. And his family's wondering where he's at, and they open up the boxcar. They find Nick dead in the middle of this boxcar, this refrigerator boxcar. And see, what had happened was Nick froze himself to death. But here's the trick. The workers around him, his buddies, found out that refrigerator boxcar was never plugged in. Nick was so mentally weak, he broke himself. You'll say, what the hell does that have to do with Razorback football? Well, here we go. Boxcars, what the hell? York, Pennsylvania. Anyways, all that being said was, Nick was so mentally weak, he broke himself. And so we talk about a mindset and approach quite often with our football program. And if you guys looked, this has been the hottest August on record in quite a long time here in Arkansas. We know it's hot in Little Rock, but Northwest Arkansas, we've gotten our heat too. And so you look at it, and we talk to our guys about the mental preparation of what it's like. In fact, I'm such a psychopath. What I've done is during training camp, we actually practiced in the afternoons. We're a morning practice team right now, but we've actually practiced in the afternoon to get them out in the heat. And I asked our team one team meeting, I said, you guys know what time we practice? 3 o'clock, coach. I said, yeah, we practice in the afternoon training camp to get you guys accustomed to the heat, so you are mentally tougher. Well, next thing you know, I said, do you guys know what time the hottest part of the day is in Fayetteville? They said, no, coach. I said, 4:06, the middle of practice. And I'm sitting there smiling, and they're sitting there shaking their heads. What the hell is wrong with this guy? Our new head coach, he's crazy. Well, then I proceed to go ahead and put up the 5-day forecast right in the middle of training camp. And you guys know how it was a couple weeks ago, 101, 102, 100, nothing below 100 degrees. I said, good, we're going to practice out there. But it's the mental makeup, it's the mindset, it's the approach. I tell our guys to embrace that. See, within our football program, we tell them to embrace the hard. I was shared a few weeks ago that ESPN came out and said we had the hardest schedule in college football. Guess what? I put a smile on my face and said, hell yeah, let's go. And that's the mindset, that's the approach that our team is going to take every single time we take the field. You guys are going to see a different program than you've seen in the past. So much credit to all those that came before us. We understand we stand on the shoulders of so many legends and those that worked hard, that gave their blood, sweat, and tears to this program. But we have to be different. We have to take the right approach. As we continue to build ourselves physically, as we continue to add young men to our roster that can help us win football games, we're going to continue to make sure we're the most prepared, that we control the controllables, and we outwork every single person we have the opportunity to face. Now, I've been here in Arkansas for about 10 months. During that time, I understand the importance of Central Arkansas. This is my 9th trip in the last 10 months to Little Rock. So I'm so grateful for every single one of you guys. I know how special this place is and what you guys mean to us, what this entire alignment of the state and truly being all in looks like. And we realize that. And so I want to circle back and I want to talk about the last 10 months. When I first got the job, the first month was putting our head down, trying to put together the roster, seeing who we should keep, what it should look like, assembling a staff, meeting with every single player on the previous year's teams and say, okay, what do we need to change? What do we need to approach? How do we get this thing better for long-term success? And then during the next few weeks, right, looking into the transfer portal, signing a high school class with a great staff that we were able to put together. Then week in and week out, starting to get ready actually for spring football, the winter conditioning. You guys have heard some of the stories about us assembling teams and drafting teams. So one of the things we did that was unique is we named 8 captains in the offseason. And had each one of those captains actually then select different position groups, different ages, and we assembled these teams. And they competed all through the spring. So we built camaraderie that way. We built competition that way. When we went through the spring, had 15 good practices. So many of you guys were at the spring game. We appreciate you guys being there. And then we go into the off season, right? Assign a good high school signing class, get the rest of our class in, and then work throughout the summer for what it looks like. We finished a shortened training camp, obviously with the early start of school. I'll talk to our systems president about getting school pushed back to maybe September 1st. So we get the longest training camp in college football. But during that time, the guys put in the work. We were very fortunate. We had the CEO of Lowe's come talk to the team. We had Darren McFadden come and talk to the team. You guys saw we had Coach Nutt as a special guest out at practice. First time he had come back to campus since he had left, and so many other great visitors. And to us, that's important as we continue to progress. Obviously, guys, we're less than 2 weeks away from kicking this thing off. We couldn't be more thrilled. We couldn't be more excited. You guys saw the announcement of us naming our starting quarterback in KJ Jackson. Very excited about it. Yeah, we can give a hand. Very excited what he'll bring to the table. It was a heck of a battle and quite pleased with everybody in that room. You know, everybody says, well, Ryan, how are you guys going to be? What are you going to be? And all I can do is test about the buy-in that we've had, okay? During our very first semester, that spring semester, we had the highest GPA on record in football program history. So to me, that's a measure of the buy-in. The most community service hours we've ever had on record within our program. I'm a long believer in how you do anything is how you do everything. And our guys have bought in, and I promise you, day in and day out, they're going to go out there and not only represent the name on the back of their jersey, but the name of the firm of their jersey. And we understand who we represent, every single person in this room, other than you with the OU shirt on. Right? Yep. Anyways, we understand who we represent every time we take the field. And it's an absolute honor and a privilege to represent you guys every single day. When we go to work, we understand we're going to work for the entire state of Arkansas, for our great fans. We're excited about the season. I look forward to talking to David about some more things here on the Q&A. But just so you guys know, you guys are in store for a special, special year, special, special seasons, and a bright, bright future for the Razorbacks for a long, long time. It's an honor and privilege. Thank you guys. Go Hogs.
All right. So, Coach, a lot of people tell. I'm sure you've heard this. I was down in Tampa with you at the SEC Media Days. You know, you got the toughest schedule, you know, in America. You know, not many people are expecting much. You know, the guys probably hear that. How do you, as a head coach, how do you handle that with your players when they're saying you're going to win 2 games or 3 games? How's your approach with your players with that?
That's a great question, and we've never really cared about what anybody thinks about us. I answered that question. Someone said, what do you feel about people that doubt you? I've been doubted my whole life, and I think, right, we don't need it as motivation. Our players don't need to be told, hey, people are doubting you, you've got a tough schedule, you're not going to be very successful. Well, great, we all have a chip on our shoulder. I talked about this earlier on the radio as a bunch of hungry dudes, a bunch of people that love football, that are going out there to work. But the reality is we don't care what anybody says. The only opinions that matter are the ones in the team room. Now, we love our fans, and we're going to do everything in our power day in and day out to represent you guys the right way. But we put our blinders on. And I actually heard Coach Nutt tell Darren McFadden this. He said, the only people that matter are the people within these four walls. And that's so true. So every single day we go to take the field, I'm not there sitting there worried about the toughest schedule. We're worried about one day at a time improvement, being the best versions of ourselves. And if we do that, and all 200 people in our program, all 120 players, it'll be a special, special year.
One of the things that was talked about was that maybe in previous administration, previous teams, there wasn't the funds available to do maybe some of the things you want to do. Let's just first talk with for your assistant coaches. You've got a big group of assistants. What gives you the advantage? What makes your assistant group maybe, better maybe than some others may think?
Yeah, listen, I think it goes back. Obviously, let's talk about a little bit about the assistant coaches. Hired some guys I had worked with in the past and others I had not. Let's start with Tim Cramsey. Tim was responsible, amongst others on our offensive staff, for having one of the top 25 offenses for the last 4 years. A consistent offense that's been productive not only at the quarterback position, but the running back position. Defense coordinator Ron Roberts has had success not only as a coordinator in the SEC for a long time. In fact, I had interviewed him, believe it or not, at Memphis when he was at Louisiana Lafayette, and I couldn't afford his buyout at the time. And then obviously our special teams coordinator, Chad Lunsford, gentleman that was at Auburn before, was one time the head coach at Georgia Southern. And then we have so many other great coaches. We've met some of our other support staff throughout today, but couldn't be more thrilled with the type of men they are and the type of coaches they are. So I've got so much belief and so much faith in our coaches. They're the ones that do all the work. I just drive the bus on occasion.
What's the, I always, when I play for Coach Holtz and Coach Hatfield, I've always believed that the team takes on the personality of the coach. That's the way I believe. So what is going to be the identity you think of this team this year? A couple things that's reflective of you and your leadership and personality.
Well, you want them to be tough, right? And no one ever looks at me and says he's tough, but let's just go with that, all right? So, but I want a tough, smart, disciplined team. And not to talk about what occurred in the past, but we have to be more disciplined than we've showcased on the field in between those white lines week in and week out. So we are going to be a disciplined program, right? We have to eliminate the pre-snap penalties, the post-whistle penalties. We've got to be locked in and dialed in, playing and play out, right? When we talk about being a smart football team, it's not just about having a great GPA. That's neat and all, but ultimately are we as prepared? So we line up, we have an understanding of what our opponent's doing. And then going back to that tough word, right? Not just physically toughness, right? Not only the ability to impose our will on our opponent, but to be mentally tougher so we can play better in the fourth quarter. They showed the highlights of the game, obviously, that occurred last year in Memphis, and I had great faith that we would be able to finish games in the fourth quarter because of the way we were built mentally, and I hope our team shows that this way.
I think you said in an interview with Jim Rome that you're in the talent acquisition business, which is somewhat true. I see my good friend Frank Fletcher right there, who was instrumental, just like other people in this room, of giving to the program to be able to bring in certain players. So you got this room full of business folks and all that. So is that something that you need? I mean, is that something necessary to get this program where it needs to be?
And Frank's been a huge part of the success in the past, and I've had the opportunity to get to know him. But it is, regardless of what you want to say. Listen, guys, I started off coaching high school ball in Division III. We can say, well, I hate the way it's trending, but guess what? If we want to have success, it's part of that. It's part about adding the players. It's part about bringing guys in, and ultimately no different, right? If you work at Google and all of a sudden another Amazon comes and offers you twice your salary, most people are going to leave. And that's what college football has become to an extent. We still believe in developing the relationships. We still believe in pouring into them, making them better husbands and fathers and better young men. But ultimately, sometimes the financial means is part of it. And so we have now got to study and figure this thing out. Now, we also are going to bring in high character young men that fit us, our culture, and ultimately who are going to represent you guys the right way. But player acquisition is a huge part of this. And so every dime that we can get, it's a huge part of what we need to do moving forward. Because the last thing we want to do is sit and say, hey, we don't have the resources, we don't have the players. There'll never be excuses. There'll never be explanations coming from me or our staff. But ultimately, if we want to get to where we need to be, if we want to have the long-term success, if 22 years from now I'm still standing here, that means we made a difference in the financial means of trying to get the best roster together we possibly can.
Maybe long gone the days, I came here from Panama City, Florida, because I sort of fell in love with the state and what it was about. You wonder, do the kids do that now? Probably not as much. It's about money and it's fit. But I love what Coach is doing, and I think you should share with everybody about bringing in. You're going to make every effort to bring in, and we didn't even do a good job of this when I was playing, bringing in former players, not only to tell them about the history, but I love what you're thinking about doing on Friday nights, if you don't mind sharing about bringing former players that walk around on the field, if you could.
Yeah, David's exactly right. Not only have we made sure every single player knows that he tackled Bo Jackson, had 15 tackles. It's going to be painted on our jerseys this year, right next to the Tyson patch. So the picture. But I truly believe, like, I understand one of the reasons when I first took this job, I always said, Ryan, why did you take this job? Why now? What's the rich history and tradition of this program? The former greats that are, some of you guys are sitting out here today, that made this place so special. And I think it's so important that this current roster, you guys can say, Ryan, it's all about money. No, it's not. In fact, we had Kyle actually talk to our team about the history of the program, what it meant, some of the old coaches, some of the former players, some of the trophies, the faces on the wall, Coach Broyles, and what he meant to this program. And I think that's so important that we continue to keep that as part of our DNA and part of our fabric. In fact, one of the first hires I made was a guy named Bray Cook. Bray actually played at the University of Arkansas, was a captain, and Bray was actually a grad assistant for me at the University of Memphis. Came back home, was a high school coach here and does podcasts and has great connections throughout the state. And I hired Bray. I said, your number one job is to make sure the alumni know they feel welcome. He said, what? I said, yes, I want to make sure not only are you reaching out to the high school coaches, but the alumni of our football program feel welcome back. I want you to invite them all, even if they played one snap, or if you have guys like Peyton Hillis that show up and watch practice, Felix Jones, all the former guys that want to be a part of this thing for so long, that they feel welcome. In fact, Kevin Scanlon came and was just getting a tour of the building. We were talking, and him and Merritt and some of the other guys were sitting in the back of the room. And I called on Kevin, and he spoke to the team, and you could hear a pin drop just as he was telling some of the history and the stories. It's so important. And then on Friday nights, one of the things we're doing is we're inviting some of the alumni back and saying, hey, walk with us. Obviously, we have to do a better job of playing at home. Walk with our team on Friday nights before the home games, and then maybe let one or two of them share a story, what it means to be a Razorback, because we understand who we represent every single day.
Yeah, and I regret I've missed this. I mentioned Kevin, but if you're a former Razorback player or coach, I know Bruce James, one of the great All-American defensive ends of all time, Gary Adams, who had the interception record before Steve Atwater broke it, are all here. If you're a former Razorback, I don't know who all's here, but let's welcome all the former Razorback players or coaches. Please stand. Let's give them a round of applause.
So I got with Gary. We've just fired an injunction and a restraining order. So Gary is now getting his 5th year of eligibility back. So he'll be joining the Razorbacks. You know, we see all these other teams adding guys. Gary Adams coming back for his 5th year.
I'm glad you brought that up, Coach. I mean, I know that's been a point of discussion all around the country. For those that don't know, now you got guys that are coming out that maybe didn't make NFL camps, are coming back and are wanting to play at the schools, and the courts have allowed it, but it also knocks out people that have been, young men that have been training hard. You picked up 2. I don't know about the NFL part of that component. What do you think about that whole situation, Coach?
It's unique, right? And we can sit here and say, hey, I don't like the way it is, and I have my own opinions on things, but there's also a way that you have to do things moving forward. And it's true, right? There are teams, there are guys that are currently in NFL training camps that played at one university, that are NFL training camps, that agents are calling these universities, and these young men will be playing maybe for a different university here in the next short weeks. And I think we always got to be mindful of that. We know, as I'm standing here on stage, something could change with court orders and injunctions and all the different things as the NCAA and everybody's trying to figure out what the next steps are. We are just trying to stay ahead of this. So if it makes sense for us to add a few players here or there, we certainly will look into that. But the focus is on the current roster. But it's unique times, and it's ever-changing, as we know. We're all hopeful. This is my 28th year doing this, and my 7th year as a head coach. There's not been one year over the last 7 that has looked the exact same as the year before, as far as calendar, as far as rules, as far as scholarships. It's changed every year, and I just hope for stability.
You know, this will be the last thing for Coach. You know, we started the Touchdown Club back in 2004. Remember who the head coach was back then? Houston Nutt. So you're the 7th coach that we've had, Coach, and we're honored to have you here. One of the things I love about Coach is that he's working hard. Nowadays you got to pick up the phone. Not only do you have to coach, you have to call and raise money, which is not something when you got in the business, probably something you probably expected. I think you got some really good people that you've hired. I know the people in this room who know you have said really good things about you. So I think, don't we agree that the support in this room in Central Arkansas and around the state, we're all in your corner rooting for you to be the best you can be in this program? Yeah. So that also means going to games. You need folks to show up to games, right, Coach?
Absolutely. Listen, there's 76,000+ seats in that stadium. We need you guys at every single one, and so many do show up. But yeah, certainly.
All right, we're going to let Coach now. Let me ask you, Kyle. Kyle, are we doing any pictures or no? So how about this? Coach, for a little bit, is going to do pictures. How about that before he gets back to work? So let's give a big round of applause to our new head coach of the Razorbacks, Ryan Silver, everybody. Great job.
We have to work now. Bummer. That was fun.
He was good.
Yeah, he was very good. I mean, he told a very long joke that I thought was pretty good. So it is all good.
Nothing groundbreaking. I mean, it was a good appearance.
Yeah,
sounded good with David. People were excited about it. He's personable.
Concur.
It sounds intelligent. Great.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear him do it again next year.
I agree.
Talking about a more successful season than most people are expecting.
I think you're on to something, Phil. Or you're on something, Phil. I can't decide which.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Yes.
Very well, maybe a little bit of both here.
Yeah. Yep. Well, let's do what's on tap before we get too far off track here. What do you say?
Yeah, you can go ahead and do that. I also saw Tennessee's announced, well, I don't know if they've announced their starting quarterback job, but it's going to be a true freshman. There will be 2 teams that the Razorbacks play in the SEC this year who will be quarterbacked by a true freshman. Vanderbilt, Jared Curtis will probably be their starting quarterback, and Faison Brandon of Tennessee. So you probably wouldn't see that many years where, at least in SEC games, you're matched up against 2 true freshman starting quarterbacks.
I think that's fair. You're probably right. All right, let's do What's on Tap, Moose.
What's on Tap, highlighting the biggest sporting events each day, is brought to you by Flyway Brewing, with locations in Argenta, Breckenridge Village, Memphis, and Fayetteville. For more info, go to flywaybrewing.com. Fresh beer starts there. Follow the migration.
All right, Phil, we got, let's see, what's today? The 24th Ray Tucker Outdoor Show tonight at 7 o'clock. Stop me if you've heard this before. And Ray's show is always great. It's on the buzz. And then we got no Traveler Baseball, of course, because it's, Monday and such. But they'll be back, and I think they're home again this coming week. I could be wrong, though.
No, they're on the road.
Okay. All right. Thank you for filling in the gaps there, my friend. All right. And then we've got on television tonight, Phil, what stands out to you about that sporting rundown there, my friend?
Oh, let's see here. Baseball.
Rob says we need to add Bentonville to the pre-roll there. Moose, I'm going to leave that to you, my friend.
Tampa Bay at Detroit, Texas at Chicago, White Sox. Hey, you see if they throw Higgins Smith 2 days in a row. The only game that Higgins been scored upon was the second day he'd thrown back-to-back days. It's the only time that the White Sox have asked him to do that. Cincinnati at San Francisco, FS1. Looks like there's some women's college volleyball on FS2 today.
Darn right there is.
Starting. In WNBA basketball, Golden State, Minnesota, USA Today Network, and Atlanta and Los Angeles on NBC Sports Network and Peacock at 9 o'clock. So that's what you got as far as your sports on TV today.
Okay, I like all those things. Do we have Wes Moore?
You got him.
Oh, wow. Extended time with Wes Moore. That's what we call this segment.
What's up, Wes?
What's up, Wes? That was weird. I was listening to you guys the whole, third hour, and you did a great job taking your breaks and getting in there, and he finally gets up there, and then it was over a lot quicker than I expected.
It was kind of short.
You didn't have a ton to say.
I thought David would ask more questions.
He's been talking to death. He's probably over it. You know what I mean?
Well, isn't this also don't you have to end this at 1 o'clock? I mean, people go back to work. Some people ducking out before 1 o'clock so they could make it back to work.
They've gone longer before.
Yeah. But they
It
usually
was a
try to
little
end
shorter.
right at 1. But, yeah, it's a little surprising. But it was good. I mean, I liked what he had to say. I was very interested in his thoughts on signing some guys out of the NFL if they don't make their team. Got me thinking, who are some guys from last year that could come back this year and play for Arkansas, could help out, get that 5th year?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of if involved in that. I mean, right now you got an injunction as far as that federal case. Who knows if they're even going to be eligible? Like, you got 2 of them right now, and Caleb Wooden, and I think Sean Williams is the name from Dartmouth.
Yep.
Like, they're Razorbacks, but are they? We don't even know. It's this Daquan Wright may sign with LSU, but he's part of the Louisiana case.
Yeah.
Those players are eligible.
Yeah.
It's so I've never seen anything that's more confusing in terms of trying to figure out who can actually play a college sport.
Just have to go get an Arkansas judge to and find some guys who want to, get a TRO. It's that simple.
It's ridiculous. We need. I don't know how you do it. I really don't know how you do it, or if it actually can happen. The only 2 ways that this stops, that some semblance of normalcy can take shape, is for Congress to pass a law, or for the 2 sides to come and meet at the bargaining table. And I'm just not sure if either one of those things is about to happen.
Or the adults in the room to say, guys, this isn't right. Let's just don't do it. But everyone would have to do it. Because it's like Lane Kiffin just said, if he doesn't do it, somebody else is going to sign these guys.
Yeah.
And so for the competitive part of this, you got to do it too.
There are no adults in the room. There is nobody that at the very end of the whole deal has a final say that's supposed to make a decision that's in the quote-unquote best interest of the sport. That's what the Major League Commissioner is supposed to be. That's what Roger Goodell is supposed to be. That's what Adam Silver is supposed to be. There is nothing like that in college sports. The college commissioners of each of the leagues, they're just looking out for their league. They're not looking out for the sport overall.
Okay, Wes, what else?
Well, we have Clint Sterner coming on for the first time of many times, thanks to Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram. He'll be joining us at 1:30 today. We got Kyle Sutherland joining us from Hogbeat, talk a little bit about KJ and AJ and everything else. And of course, I'm sure we'll hear more from Coach Silverfield and what he had to say, play some of those clips from last night and again today. But should be a loaded show. Oh, and at 3:30 today, Allison Courtney and Natalie Scott will be joining us in the studio to talk about some of the great things going on at Stage 13, their big one-year gala coming up this weekend at the Clinton Presidential Library.
All right. How much time we got, Moose? Any? Got some text here.
40 seconds.
Before the music or with the music?
Music's on now. Do you not hear it?
Okay. No, you're good. Whoopig Suey Lock and Load says Ron from Pine Bluff. I don't know. I'm not inspired. I'm not funny, or it's not clever, but who am I? Okay, wow, that's grumpy. Says he talks too fast, too. I like it. Good job, guys. We missed the first part. First part of what?
The
EPS
Silverfield talk.
No,
he was up there.
You didn't miss anything. He was just basically thanking people. We came back at the right time. Boxcar Story's been around for 30 years. I don't know if JW is hating on that or just pointing something out. I've never heard that one before, honestly.
Hey, have a good trip, Justin.
Oh, bye, guys. Talk to you Thursday.
Yeah, till then.
All right. Yeah, go Bears and all that. See ya and such. Adios.
Summer is quickly coming to an end, but you've still got some time to take advantage of some truly amazing deals here at Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram.
That's right, Terry. We've got 0%